explaining what is true. Coffee going cold beside me, breakfast left on red. Somebody said something wrong, so I'm crawling out of bed. Screenshot, crop it, circle it, attach a little proof. I don't know these people, but I know what they went through. Source? My phone says you have memories, but I don't remember when. I only know the numbers and who like my post again. Real life keeps on knocking, but I'm muted every time. I'm busy turning every thought into a perfect line. Tap, tap, double tap, give me my attention back like share. Save, react, I'm having a panic attack. Push notification, instant validation. The whole world could collapse outside. But first engagement. It's time to log in, let the whole day begin. I'm alive when the lights rolling, so hit refresh again. I'm online, I'm perceived, I'm whatever you believe. Put my heartbeat in the feed, algorithm notice me. Like it, repost, retweet, repeat. Turn my personality into something you can stream. Real life knocking, but I'm never letting it in. Good morning, everybody, it's time to log in. It's time to log in. Clicks, 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 scroll, swipe, waste my whole life. Everything is content if you frame it right. Soft launch, heartbreak, hard launch, beef. Subtweet, vague enough to weaponize belief. Someone made a call out, someone called the call out fake. Now there's 12 response videos reacting to the take. I'm the main character, victim, villain, fan. PR team, detective, and a one-person brand. Thoughts are my own, sitting safely in the bio. While my whole personality depends on who replies though. Blue check, red flag, hot take, green screen. Throw a fake reaction to a clip I've never seen. Such crap, stay mad, ratio, cold. I'm emotionally dependent on a mutual I don't know. My friends are at the doorway asking if I'm coming out, but somebody misused the word, I have to call it out. They're laughing in the sunlight, making memories for free while I'm editing my breakfast into day in the life of me. Tap, tap, double tap, my attention span collapsed. Draft, delete, rewrite that. Will the mutuals interact? Errors, social media, monetize frustration. I haven't touched the grass in weeks, but I've got great engagement. It's time to log in, let the discourse begin. I'm alive when the lights rolling, so hit refresh again. I'm online, I'm perceived. Please subscribe to watch me breathe. Put my breakdown in the feed, algorithm notice me. Like it, repost, retweet, repeat. Turn my nervous breakdown into content for the week. Real life knocking, but I'm never letting it in. Good morning, everybody, it's time to log in. I need a hot take, I need a headline, I need a stranger to tell me I'm right. I need the numbers, I need the blue light, I need to know who was problematic last night. This post is getting a lot of attention, so I'd like to clarify absolutely nothing. Read the The sky turned pink behind the blinds, but nobody clipped it, so I let it pass me by. My phone says I was active for 11 hours straight. I post the screenshot, laughing what the number isn't strange. There's a world outside my window that will never know my name. No follower count, no trending tab, no audience to entertain. Maybe I could shut it off, maybe I could disappear. Someone mention me. It's time to log in, put the charger in my skin. The timeline keeps on moving, I can't let the silence win. I'm online, I exist, have my breakdown, pay your list. If you love me, leave a heart. If you hate me, boost the post. Like it, repost, retweet, repeat. Feed the little machine until the little machine eats me. Sun went down, I don't know where the whole day went. Good evening, everybody, it's time to log in. Log in, get mad, post first, relax, screenshot, get mad, no fun, all caps, block, block, come back, don't scroll, relapse. Real world couldn't be me. I'm living through a 6-inch screen. You're all caught up. Refresh. You're all caught up. Refresh. watch the shoreline, forget the shape it knew. Watch the tallest kingdoms turn to dust and morning dew. I have carried voices no one living understands, held 1,000 lifetimes like broken glass inside my hands. I thought remembering could keep the endings far away, but even names carved into stone are softened by the rain. Still, through every ruin, something small survives. A flower through the concrete, a firefly, and I. The world is always ending, the world is always new. There is beauty in the breaking if you let the light come through. I don't have to become colder just because I always stay. Even oceans yield to pressure and still find another way. I will grieve what disappears, I will love what cannot remain, because life is not less beautiful for ending someday. They have called me sacred, they have called me something wrong. Tried to pull forever from the places I belong. I have known the smiling faces with their kindness dressed as knives. Let one moment of betrayal become the shape of every life. Then I saw a tired stranger give her scarf to someone cold, and the world became much larger than the cruelest thing I'd known. Pain can fill the silence, make the darkness feel complete. Then a hand reaches for another and reminds you where to see. The world is always ending, the world is always new. There is beauty in the breaking if you let the light come through. I don't have to become colder just because I always stay.
Good morning.
KKIITTE just resubscribed for 5 months. You.
Thank you. Thank you, Kai. Welcome in. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning, good morning. How is everyone doing? Good morning. Good morning, good morning. Hello, everybody. Good morning, BFI and Tempest. Good morning, Bowman. Good morning, Cannoli. Good morning, Typhoon. Good morning, Mags. Good morning, Veswion. Good morning, Strange Ashley. Good morning, Fish. Good morning, Green. Hi. Good morning, Kites. Good morning, Chosen Texan. Good morning. How are you guys? We're gonna be watching a video today. The GOAT has released a new video today. Shoe on Head released a video yesterday or today. One of something. It was in the last 24 hours. So we're gonna be watching that. I'm very excited. Yes, we're watching Shoe. Am I a real VTuber if I don't watch Shoe? Good morning, Invictus. Hi, good morning. Good morning, good morning. But first, I have a song. You guys wanna hear a new song that I worked on, and I thought it was fun. I also just realized I have my wrong I have the wrong hairstyle equipped. There we go. Bum bum. Yes, you guys want to hear it? Hell yeah. Okay. Here we go. I'll give it to you guys. It's a little bit different than what I usually make, so don't judge me too hard, okay? Good morning, Exa. Good morning. Good morning, Joshua. Good morning. Hello, yes, new song. I don't know if I'm gonna release it, but I had a lot of fun with it. Here you go. Welcome in, Vanderwalkie. Yes, it's ska. Ska punk.
Look, I know that it's a lot. Being right around the clock, yeah. Come on, those replies just don't reply themselves.
BuzzFeed
Let me
anthem.
tell you about my other friend now. My other friend's got a burner. Woo! She runs that thing. She's beefing every day. She's got a mutual she's never met. And they
Everyone
won't
slowly
open
goes
up
outside. So true.
screenshots at all. She keeps receipts in a file. She's building up a case like a lawyer. But she wants that attention more than food or sleep. So I look at her and say, log off, you should log off right now.
Touch grass, nobody's reading that.
Sign out, you should sign out right now.
Touch grass, nobody's reading that. I don't got no answers, I just post. Touch grass, nobody's reading that.
Log off, you should log off right now.
Touch grass, nobody's reading that. Hey, I've been online this whole time.
So I really love Streetlight Manifesto. I was like, dude, I could try to make some ska.
Drew underscore
Holy.
Invictus underscore just gifted 10 subs.
Chip broke my tits. Thank you so much, Invictus, for the 10 gifted. Holy shit, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Huge poggers, thank you, W Invictus, the GOAT. Thank you so much. Yeah, we're gonna hop into, let me put this on. I also made some shoegaze, which I don't know if I'll ever make any of these public. What happened to the heavy metal song in Russian? I took it down. I took it down because I made a better version of it. And it will be live with my next album. Don't worry. I made a better version of it. I amped it up. More angry. Hi, John. Good morning. Also, good morning, Cenarian. Good morning. How are you guys doing, though? Are you guys having a good Friday? I'm having a good Friday. It's been a good Friday. I fought with the bank for like 3 hours. I had to go in person. I had to go in person to go see the people. I was like, look, I'm trying my hardest. I'm trying my hardest. I'm not upset with you. I was like, I'm sorry, I'm just a little frustrated. I can't access anything. Please fix my bank account. Yeah, I had to go in person. I got hung up on 3 times. I don't think on purpose, but like I kept telling them, I'm like, hi, like verify me, please. The third lady was like, I can't verify you. I was like, well, the other 2 people were able to verify me just fine off of my information. What do you mean you can't verify me? She's like, oh, well, you know, I can't. You're gonna have to go in person. I was like, well, can I speak with your superior then? And she's like, they're gonna tell you the same thing. I was like, okay, well, can I speak to your superior then? And I never got in touch with her superior. Oh my god, it's so loud. Why is it so loud? Good God almighty. Oh my goodness. It was quite fun. I went into the bank and then I got a phone call within like 10 minutes of me being at the bank, and it was the bank people calling me. They were like, "Oh yeah, we fixed your account." And then like within like minutes, the bank teller, she was like, "Oh yeah, they fixed your account." I was like, "Thanks, appreciate it." I was supposed to go to Home Depot today to get a filter for my fridge. I was also supposed to go to the grocery store. I didn't do that, but I got coffee today. I got coffee, that was fun. Yeah. I get to feed my snake tomorrow. He's, for those of you that have been following me, thank you for the hydrate, Ekta. I'll hydrate in just 1 second. For those of you that follow me on Twitter, y'all have seen, how Cheese likes to hoist himself up, and he likes to run laps on the top of his enclosure. And now he's getting to the point to where he just literally, he'll like suction himself to the side, and he'll just stay completely still, like flat against the glass, like a stick almost. I sat there, I was like, I'm not sure if he's trying to tell me that he's hungry. but thank you for the hydrate. But yeah, I love cheese. Cheese is my baby. I plan on getting a ball python soon. I was looking at a different couple of morphs, and when I say soon, I mean like not super soon. Like it's probably gonna be like a year, maybe 2 years before I get another one. Just because I want to make sure I can give cheese all of my time first. But you know, if you guys have had snakes, you know they're kind of chillax. Like you literally just, you feed them, they sleep for 2 days, and then they wake up, and it's just a countdown until they eat again. So it's they're pretty chill, but I still want to embrace all the time that I have with cheese. So let me do this. Exa is cheese too. Is Exa a snake? Yes, Exa is now snake. Oh, you would love a whole album like that? Yeah, I mean, if I could probably do something like that. I do enjoy, I enjoy all kinds of different, like, metal and stuff. Cheese is a cool name for a snake. Yeah, he's an albino superconda, hognose. So, I first saw him and I was like, his name is Cheese. Because he looks like, you know, like mozzarella cheese almost. Or like Colby Jack. Snake can be cheese, but never cheese to snake. Oh my gosh, it's the burger paradox all over again. The burger. Alright, well let's go ahead and get this up and moving. Let's see. The burger paradox makes you cry at night? Why? What do you mean? That's gonna be my magnum opus. Honestly. Nightbot, that is not the right link anymore. SMH'd my head. It's fine. I mean, I guess it technically still works. It's just the Discord's messed up. You will always wonder if you are Burger. You are now Burger. I hate to break it to you. Okay. Are you guys ready for the wonderful and glorious shoe on head video? Okay. All right. I'm a little bit big. Let me shrink down a little bit. Let me see. All right. We're gonna turn on captions. It's muted. All right.
So the other day I saw a tweet. I feel like all my videos start out.
Captions aren't working. I hate this new bug that YouTube does where captions just don't work. Forgive me. I need them to work.
So the other day I saw a tweet. I feel
YouTube, fix yourself, brother in Christ. Okay, maybe if I go to her page and I click on it. YouTube has been crapping itself. I've kind of noticed that myself. Like, an error has occurred. Like, brother, what? Yeah, that's literally what it's doing. It's farting. I guess you could say sharting because it's shitting itself. Let's see.
So the other day I saw a tweet.
Awesome.
I feel like all my videos start out like that. The other day, I saw a tweet that said, "Woke One was crazy," attached to the infamous photo of Nancy Pelosi
Welcome in,
and a bunch of
Raven.
Democrat politicians kneeling in African costumes back in 2020 to honor George Floyd. What a fever dream. There were many similar posts from people talking about how crazy Woke One was, or Woke 1.0 as they call it. Leftists talking about what they did wrong during Woke 1.0, how they came off too strongly with things like abolish the police, and how they'll do things differently during Woke 2.0. Yeah, you'll get him next time, champ. And don't get me wrong,
Thank you, thank you. I hope you have a good one, Tempest. I'll catch you next time. Have a good night, sleep well, sweet dreams, all that fun jazz.
2020 was crazy. At the time, I was a bit preoccupied trying my hardest to get Bernie Sanders and Tulsi Gabbard elected.
Oof.
I don't want to talk about it. But yes, from what I remember, 2020 was crazy. But that was not Woke 1.0. Woke 1.0 started long ago. Long ago when being woke.
Thank you for the
was
follow,
still
B-Dog.
being an SJW. Back when Anita
Ah,
Sarkeesian
yes,
was
a
public
social
enemy
justice
#1,
warrior.
and I identify as an attack helicopter, believe it or not, was a joke young people told, and not your 65-year-old uncle on Facebook. You see, Woke
Yes!
1.0 was not George Floyd and COVID masks. No, no. This was Woke 1.0.
Learn what mansplaining is, and then stop doing it.
Wow, yes, the culture war. Let's
Hello, and welcome to
go.
the Shoe on Head channel. I am your host, Shoe on Head. You may also know me on Reddit as every e-girl combined into one insufferable millennial woman with fetal alcohol syndrome, or
Oh my
perhaps just
god.
Asmongold on HRT. As I am filming this, it is the 12th anniversary of my first video on this channel. 12
Oh my gosh, is that Boxy? Is that Boxy? Asmongold on
Infinity
HRT
Rain
is
just
crazy.
resubscribed for 5 months.
Thank you, Infinity, for the resub. Thank you. But yeah, you guys,
12 years. 12 years a slave.
that's kind of how she got
So in
known
this
first
video,
to
we
begin
are
with,
going to
right?
react to that video as well as a few other old videos of mine. We're gonna see how well or how terrible everything has aged, because let's be real, a lot of this shit aged like milk. Wait, why is that arrow pointing this way? What the f- We're going to talk about Woke 1.0, the ancient lore of me and my channel, how the Overton window has shifted so far since
always
then,
been
how
cringe and
stupid
Victus.
everything looks back then in comparison to things happening today. I feel like every morning we wake up and we are living through yet another historical event. The news moves so fast. There's
Yes.
pressure to react instantly, to pick a side, to condemn, to support. But the reality is, when a story first breaks,
Is
we
this a
don't
ground-
say the
this
full
is a
picture.
ground
And that's
news
why
ad?
For years now, I have been using today's sponsor, Ground News.
I
So let's
use
quickly
Ground
give them a
News.
shout out before we get into this video. Ground News is a website and an app that lets you see how news stories
We
are being
love
covered
Ground
all
News.
across the political spectrum, from left, right, and center. Every story comes with a quick visual breakdown of the political bias, ownership,
I knew it was
and
coming.
headlines that
She
helps you
advertises
understand
it
the full
almost
story
every,
and make sure you're getting
every
both
episode that
sides.
she releases.
They make it really easy to compare headlines to see how political bias and media ownership can affect the framing of a story. For example, let's check out this story about how Republicans in Congress continue to back Iran war despite the political risk. On the left, you'll see the headlines about this are like, Iran war keeps
Can't
dashing
skip it.
GOP's midterm
Can't skip an ad.
hopes. And this is how a right-wing outlet covers the same story. Tucker Carlson claims Israel controls U.S. politics. Force Trump
Well, she's-
into
she's-
Iran
she's
war.
gotta be a different
very
character
different
for her
focuses
ad.
Here, very different vibes going on here. But my favorite feature of Ground News is definitely the blind spot feature. It shows you news stories that have been covered by one side of the political spectrum and ignored by the other.
Yeah, no, for real,
example,
Invictus.
here's another story about how the Iran war is deeply unpopular with even Trump's voters. 39 sources covered this. 64% were left-wing, and only 14 were right-wing. Right-wing media trying to avoid how even their own fan base are sick of this war. And here's a story about how Ilhan Omar's sister is apparently linked to Minnesota's fraud scandal. 100% of the sources that covered this story are right-wing.
No left
No
wing.
left-wing outlets have covered this story.
crazy.
There are so many examples like this, and
That's
Ground News makes it
insane.
really easy to just lay it all out in the open. I've been using Ground News for years now, and it is
Leftists
one of
be
my
held
favorite
accountable
apps.
when-
Even the Nobel Peace Center recognized Ground News as an excellent way to stay informed, avoid echo chambers, and expand your worldview. High praise. Best of all, I am currently offering 40% off their Vantage
Guys,
plan, which is the
40%
plan
off.
I use to access
Scan the
all their
QR
amazing
code.
features. To get the 40% off discount, go to ground.news/shoe or use the QR code on screen right here, or click the link in the video description down below to subscribe.
It's
to
classic.
the
It's
Vantage
okay when
plan
we do
today.
it. Yeah.
Big thank you to Ground News for
course.
sponsoring this video, and thank you, the viewer, as always, for not skipping the ad. And now, back to the video. One of the most funny and, like, endearing things
I know that I've said it 1,000 times over, but Shu is genuinely so pretty. Like, I remember people used to, like, give her a lot of flack for the thick eyeliner. But, like, even when she doesn't wear a lot of makeup, because those pictures have, like, surface and stuff, I think she's done a video where she's not wearing a bunch of makeup, too. Because she's not really wearing, quote, a bunch, because she's got, like, fake eyelashes and eyeliner, and, like, her eyebrows are done. She's not wearing, like, overly a lot, but she's naturally very pretty. I know I've said it 1,000 times over, but I have to say it every time I watch a Shu video because I'm always like in awe of how pretty she is.
that have been happening lately is people will discover my channel and then they'll make reaction videos to my videos, and they'll title them things like "Shu on Head is done with the left," "Shu on Head is finally waking
These
up." And it's
thumbnails!
like, I've been woken up. Do not cite the anti-woke magic to me. No, stop. I was there when it was written. Before your girl was commie mommy, for better or worse, I was one of the founding fathers of anti-woke content on the internet. I saw this one tweet that was like, "The idea there was a woke one is the most jarring to America's moment I've ever had." Really, bitch? I mean, like, I get it. I would pretend it never happened too. It was very embarrassing, but really, bitch? I was there when Bernie Sanders was talking about unions and has microphones snatched by Black Lives Matter. That was basically the birth of my entire political worldview. You can't pretend that shit never happened. I was there when a grown-ass scientist was harassed and brought to tears for daring to wear a shirt with, like, cartoon pinup girls on it. We need Nuremberg trials.
It's crazy,
for all the
bro.
2010s. You should
It's
legally
crazy.
be forced to wear some kind of patch on you in public to identify you as a woke 1.0 freak. When I saw that tweet, I literally had to stop writing my other video to make this one because I was like, okay, I'm not gonna let these people rewrite history. We're not gonna let you write the history books, okay? Who do you think you are? Ghislaine Maxwell's father? So I'm going to be talking about 4 different videos here. Oppression Olympics, Social Justice League vs. Gamers, Average is Beautiful, and Questions for Men Answered by Women. I'm not going to be showing the full videos because this video would be 4 hours long, so if you want to watch the full videos, the links will be in the description. Thank you, I love you, bye-bye. So Oppression Olympics was my first cultural, political video, uploaded July of 2014. 12 years ago. How old were you guys 12 years ago? I am like 60 years old in internet years, like 204 years old in e-girl years. If you have been here—
These
if you have
glasses
been
are so
with me
cute.
for
What
that
the fuck?
long, you deserve like some kind of reparations or something. Like, you have seen some—
Everyone calls
I
her
am about
commie
to watch
mommy.
it. I am so scared. I haven't watched this in years.
X is 1,000 years old then.
Hey there, pretty lady. Do you wear heels? Do you wear makeup? Do you want to go on a diet and get thin? Don't do any of those things. Hey, I'm a feminist. That's right, a feminist in 2014 America.
Can my voice even do that anymore? 2014 America! Oh. I can? Okay, never mind. Pretend I didn't do that. Alright, let's go.
Welcome in, Mailstream.
That means I
Hello,
want you
cleavage
to stoop
dude.
down to
Welcome,
my
welcome.
level. And that means
Also,
don't
welcome
go
in,
on a
TiVo.
diet, don't wear heels, don't do
Yeah, that's
makeup, don't do your
Boxy.
hair,
That's
don't try
Boxy
to
right
look
there.
pretty. I get cackles all the time and I hate it. I just love
We're
blogging
so
about it,
black.
and I love blogging about it on my Tumblr. And shaving? Forget shaving. Don't shave. This video game character is dressed too sexily. I don't like it. Change it. I'm dressed too sexily and you don't like it? Stop oppressing me. Did you guys know that rape is bad? Rape is bad. Does anybody you know.
Yeah, like, we gotta remember, back in 2014, Tumblr was really popping off before it died. Who here had a Tumblr? I did. Don't remind you. Guys, it's crazy because Tumblr, I want to say it was like, what, 2018 when they finally did the NSFW ban? Yeah, it was where everything was until they banned NSFW content. Which, like, I never even really saw NSFW content until right before the ban. It was right before the ban that it started to get really bad because bots were everywhere. And they were posting all sorts of stuff. Was it 2018? It might have been 2020. I don't know.
Know this?
But yeah.
Rape is bad, and if you're not a feminist, you're pro-rape.
Tumblr taught Exa about femboys. I'm so sorry.
Ah, fuck, she's back.
Feminism in 2014 America is completely pointless. It's just a label that people are putting on themselves to feel special because
Why do I sound so cute?
It's just a label people are putting on
Themselves like, aw, someone protect her. She doesn't know how bad it's gonna get.
it's the special snowflake oppression limit.
Real.
Everyone is in this big race to be the most progressive and the most open-minded and the most oppressed. It is the strangest thing I have ever seen, and it's like infesting.
It's so
like,
strange.
The internet, and it's starting to seep out into the real world.
Seeing her from 12
And, like,
years ago.
I really don't like it.
So a little lore behind this video before we continue. First of all, Obama was president. Okay, this was before the Trump era. In fact, this was like months before Gamergate even popped off. This is ancient. Some of you don't
Gamergate.
even remember a time before Trump. Like, Trump is your normal.
Yeah, that's something that I gotta remember is there's a lot of like really young people where they don't really know much about previous presidents. Like, let's not forget Obama, which was before Trump, and he was thanks, Obama. Oh God, yes, Obama. Man. Oh God. It's been a while.
You don't remember what the political and cultural landscape was like before Trump. That is like crazy.
Dude. So Michelle Obama, when she pushed the thing for kids, I remember hearing a lot of people talk about that. A lot of people talking about how she was pushing for like diet or zero sodas in schools. And like where like they took away pizzas and stuff and yeah, food desserts and all of that. Crazy. Michael, you mean? Yeah, sorry. Yes, Michael. Michael, the transgender woman, Michelle. Yeah. We had actual deep fried french fries and then they had to get rid of them. Oof. Goodness. Yes, Big Mike. Yes, Big Mike. It's so crazy. I genuinely do think that she is a he. After seeing some of the pictures I've seen, which, I was gonna say, like, I remember there being a theory that, like, Obama wasn't an actual citizen, but obviously, like, he had to have been a citizen. But he wasn't born in the United States. I remember that being a huge thing that we were, like, pissed off about. Exa. Bonk stick. Yeah, be like Mike. I know, dude. I've seen some shit when it comes to Big Mike, man.
Crazy to me. Anyway, at this time I was like 23, 24, working at a makeup counter in the mall, and I noticed all the people around me were changing. Their personalities were shifting. They were becoming like very unfunny and like offended at everything. It was very weird.
The
One
internet,
example that
the
sticks
beginning
out
of
in my mind for
the
some
internet
reason was my friend
collapse.
screamed in my other friend's ear, and my friend was like, "Ah, you're gonna make me go deaf," and then my other friend was like, "That's not funny. My brother's half deaf." I don't know why that one sticks out, but like that was a pivotal moment where I was like, what the fuck is going on? Also, we later found out that her brother was in fact not half deaf, but anyway, the only thing I traced it back to was they all used the same website.
This video is mostly about
Tumblr? Yes! Yes! It's so funny. It's so funny because Tumblr is where everything fucking collapsed. The fucking SJWs on there were so bad. They were so bad, bro. Like, it's so funny because, like, oh, I'm sorry. It's so funny, bro. Because those of us that, like, just wanted to look at the aesthetics and shit, it was like, it was everywhere. Everywhere. It was fucking everywhere. Oh my god. It is literally where, like, the hipsters started. Because hipsters were back, what, like 2012. It was like for those of you that remember, like, Instagram, like, that's where, like, everyone did, like, the mustaches, and, like, they would, like, draw mustaches on their fingers, and, like, sunglasses with fucking mustaches on it, and, like, hipster was a thing, and then Tumblr started to kind of pop off around that area, and then, like, around 2014, 2015, that's when it got really fucking woke. It was really bad. I knew Tumblr was gonna be the hot topic of this part. I knew it. That's crazy. Oh, yes, bro. When people went from Tumblr into other spaces, because, like, once again, it's like tribal mentality, right? And so you put a bunch of people that want to blend in. And, like, back in this time period, it's like, you know, not a lot of people had social media. I mean, it was kind of like starting to pop off, you know, because, like, what, MySpace was 7 years prior before it finally went down. You had Instagram, you had Vine. I think Vine went out around 2013, 2014. I don't know. Somewhere around then, Vine stopped being used. Then you had, like, Musical.ly and stuff. So it's like, not a lot of people had social media in the form of, like, what we have now. So Tumblr was based in, like, blog numbers. So a lot of people were like, blog numbers. So if you wanted to be liked by a lot of people, all these people in this area, you had to pretend to be a kind of person, right? And so that carried over when they realized that, oh, well, you know, I could probably get somewhere on social media, on other social media, if I keep up this, like, this mentality, whatever. And that, when it breached containment, that's when it got bad. Yeah, it's fucking Musical.ly. Yeah, it's crazy, bro. It's like how far we have come as a society as far as, oh man. Trigger warnings are fucking stupid. I've always said that. I understand, like, putting a flag on NSFW content because, like, that's just, like, decency, right? But, like, trigger warnings, it's like, if you read something and you get offended, scroll off. Close your eyeballs. Lock your phone. You know, close the tab. Like, I've always thought the whole trigger warning bullshit was weird. I had a friend about 5 or 6 years ago, which we stopped being friends around the time that she became super, super fucking woke. And she would literally label, like, almost every single post of hers on Facebook because she was, quote, Facebook famous, which I always thought that was, like, fucking strange. Like, how are you Facebook famous in, like, 2020? But she would always, like, label every single status with, like, trigger warning, blah, 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 trigger warning, blah, 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 blah. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, I'm not going to read any of this shit. Because, like, you spoiled it for me. That's like, you know, going to watch a movie and it's like, what they start off the movie with is it's like, oh yeah, characters die. And, you know, there's blood. And it's like, bro, so stupid. Yeah, some people consider themselves, like, Twitter famous, which is just, like, it's weird. You know, I don't know, like, any like, social media platform, like, I don't think you're really considered famous until you're, like, massive. And by massive, I mean, like, everyone knows who Elon Musk is. Everybody. Like, literally everybody. And if they don't, they're living under a fucking rock. Like, Elon is fucking famous. Like, Big Mike. Yes, Exa. You almost forgot how cancer all this shit was. Yeah, dude, it's insane. It's insane. Man, it's crazy. But yes. Oh goodness. You enjoy scraped cheese off of burgers? Well, you know a cheeseburger is still a cheeseburger if you remove the cheese.
Please, no! 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 No!
Oh my god, is that Big Red? Oh my god, just blast from the past with his face.
Wow.
This woman should get some kind of like compensation for being on so many YouTubers' thumbnails. She was the face of the triggered feminist SJW for years.
Number one, shut the f up for a second. Now, if you would shut the f up for the 50th billionth time.
She's got the Karen haircut. Like, did she start the Karen haircut? Did she start it? I can't imagine like a middle-aged white woman going, yeah, give me the Karen haircut and make it blood red. She made it famous. Yeah, it checks out. Checks out. Oh yeah, the one where no, and she's in the wheelchair. I know exactly which one you're talking about.
And then it was this other person. Where are these
Yep.
people nowadays? I wonder what
There
they're
she
up
is.
to.
Look,
And then
there
it
she
was
is.
This other person.
It's so good. It's so good. They get so
Where
bad.
are these people nowadays? I wonder what they're up to.
Tumblr is the reason there is just this outbreak and infestation of SJWs
Yep.
ruining my internets and ruining my real life and just sucking the sense of humor out of so many people I know.
Tumblr was very popular back then, but there was like some dark evil energy coming from it, and I sensed
Oh,
it.
yeah.
And at the time, that is where I thought all this woke SJW shit was coming from. Little did I know, like, a lot of these people on Tumblr were college kids. All this, like,
Yep.
rape culture, white supremacist bullshit was coming from the college classroom. And at the time, I didn't know. I was just a humble makeup salesman, so I was really confused, and I felt like I was going crazy. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to boot up the Shoe on Head channel. I'm gonna vent and make a video. Nobody's gonna fucking see it. I don't care. As far as I knew, there was no other videos online talking about this subject, so I just filmed it, edited it, uploaded it, and left. Like, I didn't check the comment section, and I didn't even know that Thunderfoot, a YouTuber, shared my video, and that's how it originally blew up. And from there, I found out, oh, there's more people who agree with me. I found like
Yeah.
Sargon of Akkad and like the Honey Badgers. It was crazy to feel like, oh, I'm not going insane. Things are changing.
They're all in this big competition to see who could be the most progressive and the most tolerant, at the same time being the most annoying and the most intolerant people that I've
And
ever
insufferable.
met in my life.
Yeah.
It is just a big it's the oppression Olympics. Labeling yourself as a feminist. Stop it. It is not a movement anymore. You do not need it.
It doesn't
Nobody
exist
needs it.
anymore.
You have every single right that every guy has now. Like most feminists on the internet just hate men.
Now, if you can believe it, and this might be hard to believe while watching this video, this was transgressive
2014,
back in the
dude.
day.
That's
This
crazy.
was like crazy to hear online back then, especially coming from a woman. We're saying things like, "Oh, feminism is doo-doo," and like obvious ass shit. Like, people have a victim complex these days. That was like sacrilegious. And now it's like nothing. Now it's like wallpaper. Everyone thinks that. Every day there's like a new racist e-girl popping up and saying the N-word
It was
and
fake,
falling
yeah.
off a week later. Like, if this video came out today, it would get like no views because it's the most basic shit ever. This video almost got me fired from my job, you know? Like, they found
Dang,
out-
you found me for my disability VTubers video? Well, welcome in. Yeah, I'm very open about my politics. Yes. If you don't agree, I apologize, but that is something we do here.
where I worked, they called my boss, they were like, she hates women, like all this stuff. When it first blew up, most of the comments were negative. It was just a bunch of angry women being like, you're a handmaiden of the patriarchy. Like, this was before the term pick-me existed. Handmaiden of the patriarchy. That goes kind of hard. Can we bring that back? Okay, so that was the first video. Let's watch another one, shall we?
Oh,
This is
boy!
called Social Justice League vs. Gamers.
May or may not
Oh,
have
boy.
noticed, I've been fully immersed in this whole Gamergate thing since it started like 2 months ago.
Gamergate was 2 months ago? Oh my
Wow.
god. For those of you who don't know what Gamergate was,
Holy throwback.
You know what? Don't worry about it. It's not important. Some woman allegedly slept with someone, and now the Strait of Hormuz is closed. Things happened in between that, but that's basically the gist of it. Editing shoe here. I decided to actually put in a brief explanation because genuinely a lot of you might not know. Gamergate kicked off when game devs and game journalists were accused of
Hello,
sleeping with
Nora.
each other
Welcome
for better
in.
game reviews. A bunch of journalists then coordinated anti-gamer hit pieces, all coming out around the exact same day, saying things like gamers are dead and focusing on how sexist and white and male gaming spaces were. It was a mess that went on for like 3 years, arguably longer, and many people cite it as one of the first major.
And now, these e-girls have infiltrated the fucking video game space. They've infiltrated. I don't know if I should go further on that. My oh, brother, it's man, yeah, the white guy safe space. Yeah, now it's been ruined. It's been ruined. Video games have been freaking taken over. Where most video games nowadays are now being made to be more inclusive, quote, and to fit the diversity thing. And who infiltrated? E-girls. E-girls. Girls who, it really got bad in 2020 because everyone was on fucking lockdown, right? So it's like, you know, it's become like, you know, people have started like picking up streaming because it's like, oh, well, I'm a girl and I have boobs, so I can face cam on a gaming stream website and people will give me money. You know, that's why a lot of people picked up streaming in 2020, believe it or not. And it's only gotten worse because you've got these girls that are playing games. And it's like, I don't want to like sound like a hater or anything, but I think it's kind of weird for you to be playing a game on stream and you have your boobies out. I think that's weird. I should not be able to see most of your boobies while I'm trying to watch you play Silksong. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I know, like, men might be different. You know, maybe, like, 50% of you work. It works for you guys, and you guys, like, look at both. Baby. You know, I get it. Am I not also an e-girl? No, I'm not an e-girl. I've never liked the term e-girl. It's cringe. It's stupid. I've been playing games, like, my entire life. Like, I literally used to get bullied in school for playing video games, right? And it's like, you know, if you were a girl that played video games, like, you were a fucking nerd. You were a geek, you know? You were, like, not even, like, you know... It wasn't, like, some fucking cool thing. And it's like, I'm sorry if I sound like I'm, like, gatekeeping, but it's like, we bring all of these people in who these girls are like, oh my god, I love Stardew. I love Stardew. Come play Cozy Game with me. And, like, look, Cozy Gamers exist, okay? I'm not talking about Cozy Gamers, okay? But I'm talking about the ones in specific who put on, like, a tight-ass fucking tank top, and they get on Twitch, and, like, their boobies are hanging out, and they're talking all seductive. And, like, literally, it's like, I'm just here to watch you play video games. I'm not here for you to, like, try to sex appeal me. Like, it's weird. Like, people are here for the personality, for the game. Yes, there's horn dogs. Horn dogs exist, but it's like, bro... They have infiltrated the space. These are the same people that probably would have bullied all of you 10 years ago. And guarantee, even now, they're talking shit about 95% of their chat. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. I'm sorry. I don't mean to go on that fucking tangent, but it really pisses me off that there's been so so many, so fucking many of them that just like get on the platform and it's like it's nothing but fucking like softcore porn. Like that's it. It's just softcore at this point. It's like cool, you know. Like what other reason is someone gonna watch someone with their boobies all the way out? Like it doesn't make any sense. Anyways, yeah, sorry, my bad. I'm sorry. My apologies. Sorry to go on that tangent, but holy shit, oh man, it makes me so mad because now it's like we can't even get like good games nowadays because everything has to like be around these people who weren't even in the fucking scene 10 years ago. Now they're like, oh, well, we need inclusion, and oh, the cast needs to have a black man and a white woman and a Asian woman and a Hispanic man, and it's like we gotta fit all of this. We gotta do this and we gotta do that, and oh, by the way, we can't have any triggering topics because you might offend someone. It's like it's insane. We go back 10 years? Well, probably closer to like 12 years at this point, because that's when you could still drop the hard R on Call of Duty and people wouldn't care. But now it's like, sorry. I'm sorry. This is just one of those things. Bro, like it pisses me off. Oh God. Jesus. Man, yes, no, I agree, Hob. I agree. Man, it's crazy. Like, God forbid, if you guys are like ever want to go look at like the state of Twitch, have you guys ever tuned into like the ASMR tabs? Just out of curiosity, have you ever done it? And I'm not knocking ASMR. Okay, I've never been one to knock ASMR because ASMR does in fact, you know, sure it might be cringy to some, but sometimes it tingles your brain and it feels good, okay? But Twitch ASMR? These people are wearing fucking nothing. Nothing. It's insane. Do you think the Odyssey movie is woke? I haven't seen it. Cannoli said, "Hey, hold on." Yes, live ASMR is it's something. I will say there are a good couple of bunch because, like, I don't remember what her name was, but I did find one ASMR artist who she would read books. There's actually a woman that I've actually interacted with, and I forget her name. It's Falcor something, which, of course, like, I saw Falcor. I was like, oh, I know that movie. But she actually reads on stream. She's not, like, a lewd person or anything. She just reads books, right, for her, like, audience to fall asleep to. But there's also a VTuber that also reads books and stuff. So it's like, there's the good few out there. But you can tell that they don't get as much engagement because their boobies aren't out. And they're not like being overly sensual when talking to people. So I just want an ASMR that whispers slurs to me. Is that too much to ask for? You know, that's a good idea. Thanks for the idea, Typhoon. I should do that. POV, your white girlfriend calls you slurs as she degrades you and calls you a piece of shit. Oh yeah. Some people might get their rocks off to that. Never mind. Yeah, no, I don't think so. Sorry. We'll pick back up on the video. My bad. I got a little bit heated. I'm sorry.
Major culture wars online. People went to the UN to talk about sexism in gaming. There was even a Law and Order episode about evil sexist gamers.
These guys, they just can't stand women in gaming.
What did they do to you?
They leveled up.
Also,
They literally don't know anything because you know how much of like a gem you were to other like gaming boys. Like it wasn't like I remember. God, what? Black Ops 2. I would go into search and destroy lobbies, and I would just be cutting shit with my homies, right? And like, of course, you'd have the random guy that's like, "Shut up, ho! Go make me a sandwich," and we'd all laugh about it, right? Like we would just go laugh about it. Like it was never like, "How dare you? How dare you?" You know. But like this shit is not fucking accurate. What the fuck? Like, bro, if a guy found you back then and you said that you liked games, I guarantee back then they would have been like, "Oh yeah, well, who's your favorite character?" You know, like, "Oh, well, what do you play on? Are you like a PC gamer, you know, or do you play on the Xbox 360? Like, what do you play on?" Blah 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 blah. That's crazy. Hello, Soul. Welcome in.
Also, Logan.
Look, you wanna say console plebs? Yes, I was a console pleb until 2019. Can you imagine that? Yeah, dude. You remember DDoSing? That shit was crazy. I remember getting into like fucking Black Ops 2 lobbies. That's what I remember the most is like the BO2 lobbies, and you would literally be on the, I forget what map it is. It's the boat. I don't remember what it's called, but like I would literally load in, and then we would all spawn in front of someone. Like if guys using, you know, hacks, right? And there were too many times like we'd be like, you know, in a fucking lobby, and like you'd have that one guy that's like, report him, and we're all just having like a fucking fun time. We're all just like goofing off like up in the sky, just fucking just having a great time because some guy like fucking hacked the fucking lobby. Oh man, those were good days. If you were a girl at a con like pre-2010, you were a very rare species indeed. Yes. Yeah, dude. I stopped going to conventions back in 2015. I haven't been to one since. Because like even in 2014, it wasn't super like horny or anything like that. It wasn't like, you know, of course you had the people that had like the skimpy outfits. Like I think the most skimpy one that I had saw was in 2014, probably September. I saw a woman dressed as Nidalee from League of Legends, which I actually cosplayed shortly before that. But she had a Nidalee outfit, like the original, you know, like the plain Jane skin of Nidalee from League of Legends. And of course, like, she doesn't really wear anything, but that's about as skimpy as it got. Like, I never really saw, like, really anything. And if people were wearing, quote, less clothes, they had a bodysuit on. But now, it's like, I be seeing some stuff just from, like, Instagram photos, because, like I said, I haven't been since, like, 2015. But I can't imagine going now. I can't imagine. Insane. There's girls on the internet. Yeah, we're guys in real life.
Paul was in that episode for some reason. It was a weird time. Anyway.
Seeing good friends of mine get labeled as misogynist, sexist, racist, only for enjoying video games and seeing through this very obvious agenda pushing 100% no. I honestly could not imagine.
That's
so
nasty,
deluded that you actually
cannoli.
make yourself believe that all gamers are white, cis males who are worse than ISIS. I'm not even mad, I'm actually like impressed that these people have the ability. They're like champions of mental gymnastics of the oppression Olympics.
Yes.
SJW logic
Delusion.
and facts. Oh my god.
Coming in like, I don't like this, I don't like that, I don't like this. This character doesn't look like me. She's not frumpy and below average. It makes me insecure. Change it. Change this. I don't like.
And they're still pushing the same agenda. The same fucking agenda of, oh, this woman is hot. That's not accurate. That's not accurate. We can't have hot women in the video game space. They all need to be ugly and frumpy, like how I almost called her Boxy. Like how Shu said. You know, it's crazy. Man, dude. Ironically, she used to be among the SJWs until the socialist boyfriend of hers. Interesting, I didn't know that. I don't know why she has so much shit on her desk, honestly.
I don't like that. I don't even play that, but I don't like it. There could be a fucking black, Mexican, Chinese, demisexual, lesbian, feminist, otherkin in a wheelchair with no legs and shit. And these crybabies would still not be happy.
Oh my god, nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. They still fucking do this shit.
Yep.
They still invade nerdy male spaces and force
Yep.
them to cater to them. They're still purposely making female characters like ugly and frumpy. You still can't pander to them because they'll never be happy.
Take a look at this.
It's a frightening and disgusting trend in the world of online gaming. Hackers rewriting code to simulate sexual assault.
Sam Meggs stopped playing online over a year ago because of what she calls a misogynistic mentality that already exists in the world of gaming. The graphics are so good, this attack is eerily realistic.
Eerily realistic.
Eerily realistic.
Oh, that's sex? I've been doing it wrong? God damn!
Oh my god, I forgot all about the traffic cone. My dad literally stole that traffic cone off
That's
the street. I was
crazy.
like, Dad, I need a traffic cone for this video.
That is
I'm doing."
crazy,
He
bro.
like took it off the street and he's like, here you go. He didn't even like ask what it was for. I was just like, thanks. Like, it's good to have a supportive father in your life. So this one is called Average is Beautiful.
Race together? Wow, how progressive!
Oh my god, Race Together. I forgot all about this. In 2014, Starbucks did this thing called Race Together, where I shit you not. They made baristas write hashtag Race Together on the cups to encourage discussion about race relations with customers.
Oh yeah, let's get rid of race relation tension by just making awkward conversation about race at Starbucks. Why?
At
They
Starbucks
were
of all
forcing
places.
18-year-old kids to have awkward ass discussions with strangers about race. Yeah, can I get a tall cappuccino? Ah, yes, hello. I see you are a person of color. What the f were you smoking back then?
I just imagine some black lady on her way to work walks into Starbucks like, oh, can I have a latte please? And the barista just like, I see you are a woman of color.
Oh my god. I made the same fucking joke. I didn't even remember.
That's
I did
crazy.
it again. Wow, it's almost like we have the same brain or something.
This is social justice. You can invade video games all you want. You can do whatever you want to comics, but don't touch my Disney. I will send the hounds on you.
Oh god.
They touched
Nobody
your
tell
Disney.
Her. Nobody tell her. Nobody tell her. Weird. This one is called
Ugh.
Internalized Misogyny.
If you're a woman capable of individual thought, you probably
We thought it couldn't get worse. And it did. It did. Did you guys see, sorry, to kind of same topic. Did you guys see that they're actually casting a white woman to play Rapunzel in the live action of Rapunzel? Did you guys see that? That's a huge win. Huge win. Never thought. Yeah. No, hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. White woman casted as Rapunzel. Yeah, here. I can show this to you guys. Look. White woman. White woman. Isn't that huge? We don't get a black girl with weave. Obviously she's wearing a wig, obviously. But a white woman. Did you guys think that we would ever get to the point of actually celebrating someone getting a role they're fit for? I'm still pissed about Ariel, by the way. She is pretty. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's bro, I never thought I would be so surprised at a white woman being casted for a white role. I never thought I would be surprised, but I genuinely was so fucking surprised. That's how you know it's sad. But yeah, so there's been more images. If you actually look her up, her name is Tegan Croft. If you actually look her up, they have more images of her. Obviously, these aren't the best ones because these are from 2 days ago, but there's been more since then, which is actually huge. I might actually go watch it. I haven't seen any of the other ones because it's like, why would I watch a movie where you guys have like wokeified fucking Snow White and Ariel and who knows what else? I saw that they were making like a Moana live action too or whatever, and I was like, didn't Moana just come out like 5 years ago or something? I don't know. Yeah, she has a white girl name, yeah. This movie has to blow all their past movies out of the water just to send a message. Yeah, it will. It will. I need to go back and watch earlier later. Yeah, for sure. My VODs, they stay up on YouTube. Her lectures had eyes so far apart that you could land a plane on that space. It's terrible. Seems like capitalism wants to pit us against weird shit instead of what actual problem seems to be. Congrats on another white woman getting an acting gig. What? Brother, what? I'm sorry, are you saying congrats? Well, I mean, yeah, this is a huge congrats. Like, thank God a white woman got a role that she's fit for. And it's not another person, like, for the past, like, 7 movies they've made. I'm sorry, I'm not sure if I'm misreading your comment, but, like, I'm not sure if it's snarky or not, but I think it's dumb to sit there and be like, oh, congrats, a white woman gets another acting gig. It's like, yeah, like, congrats, like, I mean, pretty huge in today's day and age. You know, a white woman in this economy? Yeah, for real. I'm surprised Disney can actually make movies about all those stories, considering they don't own them, to my knowledge. It's kind of murky. I've kind of looked into it, but it's a little murky, for sure.
You had the term internalized misogyny thrown at you a few times. So, what is it exactly? Fucking retarded. The end.
Rip.
There are so many stupid feminist rebuttals, but I think internalized misogyny has to be like my top favorite. Right after she's doing it for male attention and
everything is just fucking retarded.
she'll learn when she's older. She'll learn when she's older.
Most are
As if
public
one day
domain,
it's
yes.
just gonna be like,
Happy birthday to you.
Holy shit! Manspreading is an issue! I am literally older now than I was meant to be in that skit about the future. And I did not, in fact, learn when I got older. I got worse.
That's crazy.
these people have an excuse and a
Do I think people from Greece were white? Well, were they black? And to counter your argument, was Ariel not a white woman with red hair? Because according to your logic, it would kind of prove my point. People from Greece are most absolutely considered white. And I mean, technically, if you want to be technical, the only white people that aren't white are Italians. But even still, we consider them white. Italians even consider themselves white. Are Italians even human? Look, man, some Italians are cute, okay? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If anything, mermaids would be paler than the humans in the region due to even less sun exposure underwater. Yeah, well, you know, that's one thing that a lot of us had pointed out when The Little Mermaid live action remake came out, because a lot of us were like, why is she black? And why are we putting a wig on her? Because naturally, unless they have some form of like albinism, which even still like doesn't really work, like maybe if they have like a ginger mom or dad, somehow they get ginger hair. But even still, like, it's just not, it doesn't make any sense. What else am I gonna put? 10? That's what I'm saying, dude. It's like, I guess, like, you know, white people don't even count as white people anymore. That's the agenda that we have. Ariel is a fictional character, just like people from the Odyssey. I don't think you get where I'm coming from. These are live action remakes of things that we already had. And they're trying to appeal to the audience for the story. I mean, like, can you imagine how mad people would get, like, about, like, which one is it with the black girl from New Orleans? Like, The Princess and the Frog? Can you imagine how mad people would be? You say it's a fictional character. Let's make Princess Tiana a white girl. I guarantee people would be pissed the fuck off. Or better yet, what's his name? Black Panther? Wakanda Forever? Put a white man. People are going to be mad. Is it so wrong that we celebrate Rapunzel being a white woman? Is it so wrong? I'm not understanding why you're like, what do you mean don't watch it and move along? Like, if you have a problem with what I'm saying, don't watch me and just move along, bro. Like, it's, take your own advice. Like, I don't agree with you. That's fine. You don't have to agree with me, but like trying to like stir up like something is just like, it doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, you can sit there and say like, oh, well, they're fictional characters. It doesn't matter. You're right. You're right. You're part of the SJWs here, by the way. You're literally the problem that we're discussing today. He can't perceive breakfast. Yeah, exactly. You know, I didn't have breakfast today, so nobody can have breakfast today. It's fine. Yeah, Disney has lost more money in like the past 2 years than what they've gained in the past 5. It's a problem, and they sit here and go and scratch their heads wondering why they're not making money. But it's like, you know, whatever. It's pointless. I'm not gonna argue with you anymore. You want to be retarded in chat, that's fine. We're gonna move on, and we're gonna laugh at SJWs. Next time, Rapunzel's gonna be bald. Real! Let's just make her a bald, fat white man. Let's do it. And then we can say that Rapunzel transgendered and got her boobies removed. So that way it's inclusive. Because it's just fiction. It's just fiction. Obama in the movie. Obama played by Trump. Oh yes, and put him in a wheelchair. True. Who needs the actual storyline to be accurate? It's just fiction. It's fine. Who wants to see the chest scars? Go watch Odyssey. You want to see chest scars? Go watch Odyssey. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's crazy. Hi, Prophet. Welcome in.
A buzzword for
Oh, man.
everything. Racist, sexist, MRA, right?
Bro, I would pay money to see Asmongold as Rapunzel. I would pay money to go see that. Like, on God. Let's petition him. Yes.
Conservative, privilege.
Oh my god, MRA. I forgot about MRAs. Oh my god. MRAs were men's rights activists, and before people were getting called like incel online for criticizing women or supporting men, they were being called MRA.
No, bro. Millstream, I completely understand. Because, like, she was in Beyond Two Souls, I believe. She was the main character for Beyond Two Souls. And she was also in a lot of, like, she was in Juno. She was in a lot of, like, movies when she was younger. She was very beautiful. Very beautiful. And then she completely destroyed herself. It's so sad. Parody movies, so yes. Lets down his hair, roaches scurry down his locks. Dude. TERFs, trans exclusive radical feminist. Yeah, I literally have a song called a TERF anthem. Yes, bro.
Yes, it was considered a insult back then to care about men's rights. This was before the modern red pill. This was before Andrew Tate, Clavicular.
Yeah, she
Fresh
was
and
pretty.
Fit. We had like Roosh V.
For the longest time, I wanted to do a post on how to approach girls that are ordering a drink at the bar. So what I did is I went to the toy store and I bought some dolls. These two are the cute girls who you want to have sex with.
That was our Andrew Tate back then.
Holy whiplash. Wait, she's not pretty anymore? Oh, I'm not talking about Shu. I'm talking about what was her name? I don't know what her name is now. Is it Elliot? I don't remember what her fucking... Ellen Page, yes. And then she changed it to Elliot. Yeah. We're talking about how pretty she was before she underwent all the surgery and the blockers, or not blockers, but the testosterone and shit.
Right-wing, conservative, privileged.
Just call her
They do this
Hercules.
to move the goalposts, so then you're like, oh wait, I'm not an MRA. This is why I'm not an MRA.
That's why you don't play the game. Like, I didn't know this at the time. I was naive and stupid, but you don't fight back. You don't go like, oh no, I'm not right-wing. I voted for Bernie. I have a gay friend. Like, no. Shut up. No. You just have to go, okay, and
just own
even
it,
if you're not,
and
because literally all they have is the ists and the isms.
Juno.
Defending
I
yourself
loved
from their
Juno.
thought-terminating buzzwords
Such a
is
sad
just,
movie.
it's useless. It's a waste of time. I wish I knew that back then. So this is my most viewed video ever. 10 million views. Demonetized. Haven't seen a single cent from that video.
Isn't that crazy? This is an actual thing with YouTube, by the way. YouTube does this with a lot of bigger creators, where they'll take their biggest video and just block it. It's crazy. I was gonna say, how is this chick in the video not pretty anymore? No, she's beautiful. I already went on my spurg about how beautiful I think she is. I always talk about how pretty freaking Shu is. Every single time I watch a Shu video, I talk about how pretty she is. Yeah, but they make money. Yeah, kinda, but not as much as they could be.
Awesome. Anyway.
So we all know BuzzFeed is the internet equivalent of ass cancer. We know this, and I'm pretty sure the website is a government experiment created to test my patience.
Is that a Mr. Meeksy shirt? Oh my god, dude. Back when Rick and Morty was
Wow.
funny.
They're known for hits like, let's get fat women to do poses only fit gymnasts can do. Being a woman is hard because compliments.
Wait. It's Red Sonja. I remember I drew her for a commission once.
Let's get fat women to do poses only fit gymnasts.
Don't reverse. Why? You mean to tell me that this woman on the right isn't like what you want? Wouldn't you want her to play Red Sonja in the live action movie? Oh yes, Red Sonja. Her story is so great. Her freaking storyline is so great.
Can do. Being a woman is hard because compliments and damage control the video. So without further ado, I present to you 36 questions feminists.
You guys are awful. It's so great. It's so great.
Have for men.
They were just pumping out videos like this constantly. Every week, another mass-produced, corpo-slop, anti-man, anti-white video.
So when you see the word white, what comes to mind?
Privilege. I remember seeing this video. And I was just like, bro, how is the first thing you think of when you say white? Privilege. Because when I see the word white, you know what I think of? Paper. I don't know why. That is the first thing that comes to my mind. It's just a sheet of fucking paper. Like printing paper. How the fuck are you so obsessed that the first thing you think of is privilege?
I think power.
We can never let this happen again. I don't care if Trump blows up the world, okay? They can make Israel a 51st state, as long as I never have to hear,
hey fellow white guys,
ever again.
How does it feel to be the same sex as Donald Trump?
How does it feel to be the same sex as someone I personally politically
Obama
disagree with? The man is literally Satan to these people. Like, they could have said Hitler.
It's It's crazy.
They basically meant Hitler. Trump is their Hitler. It's very trendy to hate Trump right now.
As far as video recommendations go, if you are in the Discord, I have a channel called React Suggestions. If we get through this one, and I do already have one in queue that we're supposed to be watching, regarding flock cameras. So we will be watching that one after this one, depending on how long this one goes on for. But if we have time, for both the flock video and the next one, then we will get to the one in React Suggestions if you want to leave it in there.
Oh wow. I'm pretty left-leaning, but I've been called a Trump supporter like 6 times in the past few months.
6 times? 6 times? Oh, you poor baby. Try 6,000. At the time, the anti-woke, anti-SJW genre was mostly full of liberals. It was mostly liberals criticizing, all of this stuff.
Yes, bro, it's bad.
Behavior. We all saw this as not real liberalism. This isn't the real left. The real left cares about, real equality and workers' rights and blah, 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 blah. We wanted to call our side out. Obviously, that didn't work, but we tried.
Why do you have to sit with your legs so wide open?
Men have balls.
Balls.
Oh my God. Manspreading. One of the top issues people would talk about.
Do you guys remember when they were telling people not to manspread? I remember that being a hot topic. I remember that shit. Yeah. Bro, it's like, what do you expect them to do? Cross their legs? Hi, Boopy. Welcome in. It's crazy. Like, what the fuck? It's like, I can't imagine having gonads and being forced to sit with your legs closed. Yeah, people got harassed on subways. Like, people would, go record the shit and be like, you're manspreading. Close your legs. It's like, brother, in Christ. You've been manspreading wider ever since. That's what I'm saying, bro. You just gotta assert dominance at this point. It's crazy. It's like, why is your, it doesn't affect you. Oh, shit. It didn't work. Hold on, Exa. There we go. I fixed it. I don't know why that one breaks it. Sorry. But yeah, it doesn't make any sense why we would, sit there and try to prioritize, someone's feelings over someone's, bodily autonomy. It's weird. It's so weird.
About nonstop back then was men
Oh,
sitting
he was
with
balls
their
and
legs
shit.
slightly open on public transportation. It was seen as some patriarchal statement of power or some shit. Every week we had to hear about manspreading.
Manspreading is when a man spreads his physical body to take up as much space as humanly possible.
What happened to all these little pet issues they were all upset about? I guess people can't afford houses now, right? They can't find jobs. I don't think they have energy to talk about the f***ing pink tax or manspreading or whatever.
Why are straight guys so obsessed with lesbians?
Wow, this chocolate bar sure is good. But you know what would make it better? Wow, another chocolate bar! 2 of a thing I like, together!
People still come to my channel to this day and leave comments on my videos like, "Are you the chocolate bar girl?" My legacy.
Why do I deserve to
It's so real. Thank you, Rose, for the follow. Welcome in.
Men and women working full time. It does not count for different job positions, hours worked, or different jobs. It has nothing to do with the same job. It has nothing to do with discrimination.
So the reason I have a button that debunks the wage gap is because back in the day you could not escape hearing about the fucking fake ass 77-cent wage gap bullshit. I don't think you hear about the wage gap anymore because young women are starting to out-earn young men. So that's a little awkward.
Why are women perceived as the weaker sex?
Because on average, we are. It's a fact. Trigger.
Literally, biologically, women are not supposed to do the same thing men can do. That's, why I don't believe, the trans ideology, fucking works in their favor. It literally doesn't make any fucking sense to say that, men and women are equal, because they're fucking not. They're not. They're not. You can train and train and train and train and train your body, but you're not gonna ever be able to, do the same thing that a man can do if he also trains and trains and trains doing, the same thing plus more of what you do. It's crazy. Crazy.
Trigger warning. Facts.
Libs owned. Trigger warning. Facts. Okay, Ben Shapiro, calm down. I thought that was such a mic drop.
Are you intimidated by a woman who makes more money than you? That's awesome. More money.
So when women make less, it's called the wage gap. But when men make less, it's just more money. Sorry, I'm like responding to the old video instead of my video.
What if the man was Chris Chan? Please no.
Points were, dude.
No,
sorry,
Chris
I'm
Chan.
watching these videos. I'm thinking about all the fucking people on Reddit who are like, Shoe on Head sent me down the alt-right pipeline. Really? This is what did it? How the fuck is it my responsibility if you watch milquetoast ass shit like this and start goose stepping? I went down the alt-right pipeline. I was a Nazi. First of all, no, you weren't. No, you weren't. You probably watched some Ben Shapiro owns college liberal compilations, and then some other YouTuber years later told you that's what being a Nazi is, and that actually having the politics of a Walmart HR department is
Good night, Exa. Thank you for hanging out.
Can we fucking relax? I'm sorry, I don't understand
Sleep
the
well and
YouTubers
sweet
and
dreams.
streamers from this era who have like trolls remorse about this shit, that feel guilty for making fun of this stuff back then because they think them making fun of this stuff gave rise to Trump and what.
Yes, bro. The women's Olympic soccer team, it's crazy. It's crazy. No one ever wants to bring up the actual things. It's insane. And also, like, with, fucking what's his name? It's been a couple years now. The man who was on the women's swim team in the Olympics. And how he won first place. It's like, you know who won second and third, that they were fucking pissed.
Whatever. It's like, no, this stuff gave rise to Trump, not you reacting to it. Like, why wouldn't you make fun of this shit? It's ridiculous and it's counterproductive.
Leah
like, you wonder why
Thomas.
so
Is
many
that what her
Gen
name
Z
hit
men are
her?
further right
Her
than,
name
like,
was?
boomer men. It's not because they watched a YouTuber called BuzzFeed cringe, right? It's because BuzzFeed and things like it, the media, academia, the culture that they grew up in.
Isn't, like, the whole thing of, like, being trans is, like, they don't want to resemble a man or whatever gender they were born to begin with. If you hate your, quote, dead name so much, why would you just shorten your dead name? Why would you adopt Leah with your name being William? You're literally just taking out, like, 4 letters of your name. People are abusing the system. It's so
A
annoying.
reactionary movement needs something to react to. Like, this shit, as goofy as it was harmful. It was harmful to society in general, and it was harmful to, like, the left, because this is how people saw the left. Trump wasn't
It is
elected
all about being retarded.
specifically because BuzzFeed, right? Like, that's stupid. But there was this, like, slingshot effect against woke one. But more importantly, there was a hole in politics left from a
tribalism and fetishism.
neoliberal
Yeah.
neocon establishment that was just waiting to be filled by a populist, and Trump filled that hole. Trump filled America's hole. He got America pregnant, and 9 months later, out pops a war with Iran. And America's like, I didn't ask for this. Well, why'd you open your legs, whore? Sorry, you were asking for it. Okay, sorry.
Okay.
Anyway, now people online are like, oh, woke 2 is gonna be great. Woke 2 is gonna hit like crack.
If you thought we were woke before, you done went and woke the beast.
I'm so tired of old people. That's it. Obviously not. Okay. Some old people are tolerable. I'm tired of old people that have this, like, mentality. Like, shouldn't you be off, like, spending time with your grandkids? Just an idea. Yeah. Just go and hold your grandkids and go play bingo and they have no family, nothing, nobody. This lady having grandkids, she's probably never had grandchildren. Oh my god, you guys are crazy. Okay, well, like, then proving my point then. Go play bingo. Go, like, do old people activities. I don't know. It's like, It's crazy. It's crazy seeing old people on social media being like, my politics, my politics. It's like, Granny, sit down. You've got maybe 5 more years before you go into a nursing home. Okay.
Welcome to Woke 2.0.
Do you want Hitler too? Because that's how you get Hitler too. We are not doing this shit again. I would kindly advise against it. If you look at everything happening now, like literal pedophiles running the world, bills being passed to merge our military with foreign militaries, a bunch of AI surveillance cameras popping up everywhere, bombs we pay for with our tax dollars against our will going to blow up children. All of this shit seems extremely petty and unimportant. But it was part of this like deeply subversive, destructive rot in society. I used to always say that culture war was a distraction from class war, and for the most part I still kind of think that's true, but I can walk and chew bubblegum at the same time, you know? I could want the rich to pay their fair share and also want my children to grow up in a world where it's not socially acceptable to hate them. Yeah, these videos were a little cringe and like, I don't think they aged that poorly. Some of the jokes were really cringe and like facts and logic liberals pretty much do the same videos, but now they're more like organized and structural and scripted. I do the same videos but in a more medicated sort of way. Big Vyvanse has taken away your millennial quirk chunguses. Big Pharma won't let me go merp. So that was that video. I thought it would be fun to do. What did you guys think? If you want to see my full, raw, unedited reaction,
this is just where she advertises her Patreon. What do you guys think? I think she spit some facts. Woke 2.0 would be a very bad idea. A very bad idea. There we go. There's the video. Let me see. I'm interested in this vlog video. It could be useful to my paper. I gotta remember how long it is. Ooh, it's kind of a long one. It's kind of a long one. Okay. I mean, we can watch it.
You may remember me.
I have to reload it because captions don't work on it for whatever fucking reason. Good old YouTube. There we go. We have got it. It's a good thing she's with a somewhat normal guy now, seeing as she's always adapting their views. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like why people say you need to groom your girlfriend, I think. There's a lot of women that don't really adopt ideas and certain ideologies unless they're with certain people. Sometimes you just need one guy to wokeify, quote, and then to anti-wokeify. Okay. Yeah, no, flock cameras are fucking retarded, but we're gonna watch it.
You may remember me from this video where I told you about 40,000 of these things that your tax dollars pay for that are tracking your every move and repurposing data collected about you every time that you drive past them. Upon further investigation, it turns out that there are over 80,000 of them, and we got some. And we hacked them. You can press a button a few times on the back of these cameras and within a few minutes, turn them into your own personal spy device, or malware host, or honeypot that steals people's login credentials, or a cryptocurrency miner, whatever you want, really. Or alternatively, how you can point an antenna at them and decode the video stream using a technique used by the CIA during the Cold War. Or how another researcher found a Google search phrase that had the capabilities of showing you the real-time location of these cameras and police patrol cars. This isn't clickbait or an exaggerated claim with no payoff. Just the other day, weeks before this video will be released, US senators and representatives drafted an official letter to open an investigation that highlights the national security risks associated.
I still find it insane that we're letting this, like, go on. Also, I'm not sure if I drank water when you gave me a hydrate. Thank you, Maelstrom. Okay.
With our findings. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how they work and even demonstrate them to journalists.
No
And finally, we're going to take a deep data dive into the efficacy, misinformation, and straight up lies surrounding some private surveillance startups, and we're going to use that momentum to push for protocols and legislation that actually makes you safer. Wow, that's a lot for a YouTube video.
How I can never act. Been trying to stack up racks on racks. Boys in the back wearing all black, staying on track. Better show you come, and that's on me. Out here getting this beef. If you work for the devil, better retreat.
Okay. Banger.
The meat and potatoes of this video will be mostly in parody with John Gainsec's white paper, and that's linked in the description below. Many of these vulnerabilities were recently published with the National Vulnerability Database or are in the process of publication. And to prevent the average viewer from getting lost or falling asleep, I'm going to keep many of the formalities and extensive details to a minimum, but if you find yourself wanting more details at any time in this video, just check the description for a whole bunch of links. Welcome to the world of responsible disclosure. And while I'm up here, let me tell you that to the best of my knowledge, any of the cameras or hardware seen in this video were acquired legally. I have not shared or redistributed any of the data on them, and as long as they are in my possession, they will not be placed into the wild. At no point in time have I knowingly accessed or interfered with any server or service related
The fact
to
he has
or
to
owned by Flock Safety. There is a chance
say
that
all
all
of
the
this.
devices that you see in this video, or all of the devices that we have acquired from multiple different sources, are unique and do not have the same hardware or software that the devices in the wild have. I have no idea how or why that would be the case, but it is technically a possibility. And finally, at the time of me recording this, there are 47 security issues covered, with the vast majority listed in the white paper. In this video, I'm going to be showing you 6 of them. Over the last summer, when doing research for my first video on this topic, I started poking around to see if anyone had done an independent audit of Flock Safety or related services. This naturally led me to the dark web, where I have access to some semi-private communities dedicated to hacking and open source intelligence. Some of these communities have well-organized marketplaces for breached data, credentials, exploits, and all that stuff.
Wow.
And that is where I found this. Please excuse the poor English translation, but these were law enforcement Flock Safety accounts for sale with escrow protection by a reputable vendor, and a few days later, the listings were removed in a way that suggested that someone had bought them. Not long after that, I got in touch with a professional security researcher
That's
regarding
fucking
other things
scary.
on this list, and what do you know? He found something very similar on the dark web.
So in the cyber industry, there are things called access brokers, and some people specialize in government agencies or maybe local law enforcement.
I started digging more to find out where these accounts could have come from. Were they bought or stolen off of a police officer or a Flock employee? Or just maybe Flock Safety had some security vulnerabilities.
More than likely.
The most significant and troublesome and mind-boggling vulnerability on this list was discovered nearly a year ago.
Late 2024, I stumbled down a rabbit hole, and then probably a few nights later was messing with the buttons and the dip switch, and then was able to figure out how to get a shell on it. Yeah, so I'm John Gainsec Gaines. Professionally, I've been in the offensive security field for over a decade.
Obtaining shell on a device means that you can remote control it, exfiltrate data, and escalate privileges, which is exactly what John did. As detailed on John's blog and formerly published paper, John had found a user named Cager on social media who was trying to recreate some of the disclosures. He reported that by merely pressing the button on a device in a particular sequence on a Flock Safety camera, a wireless access point is created.
Hey partner, don't do any of this stuff unless you can legally acquire a Flock Safety camera. If you do this to one of the 80,000 all over the US of A, you'll be put in the clink. First thing you're going to want to do is go ahead and press the button to turn on that police camera. Then press the button on the back a number of times I can't disclose in this video. There she is, the Flock wireless access point. Go on and connect. Send a command.
Yeah, I
to
think
enable
all of us
ADB.
hate these things.
Connect.
They're so stupid.
And now you can connect to the Flock Safety device and access its data. Or install whatever the hell you want on it. Have fun.
This, along with John's previous discoveries, are encapsulated in an easy-to-use tool that he made so even a novice user could obtain full control of the cameras. We let George Cheedy from The Guardian do the honors.
The longest part actually is waiting for the hotspot to turn on, but realistically in about 5 seconds. And in fact, with the compute box, you don't need to hit the buttons because the USB-C ports are exposed, so you can just plug in a rubber ducky and then walk away.
A rubber ducky, sometimes referred to as a bad USB, is a USB drive that a computer or device detects as a USB keyboard and then executes scripts called payloads. One can make a device like this for as little as $5. This quite literally raises the limit of how one could use
Of course
Flock
you
Safety
can.
devices
Of course
to
you
their
can, Cannoli.
imagination. You can clone or decompile the apps. You could send the video stream data to a remote server. You could use it as a botnet client for
I find it insane that we're spending all this money on flock cameras when we could be deporting people. Might just be me, though.
Malware. You could have it capture Wi-Fi handshake credentials and do middleman or honeypot attacks, or replace or modify captured footage or images. And if that is the case, this could bring into question the integrity of the data being used as admissible evidence in court, like in general, unless of course a prosecutor could prove that a
Deportation's a waste. I kind of beg to differ. Potential organ donors. I don't know, man. There's so many people just like wasting the taxpayer money, like off of welfare and Section 8. It's just like being handed to like people that aren't doing anything. It's honestly just something where it's like they gotta go. They gotta go. Especially the people that refuse, like people that want to become legal and are actually working to become legal, that's fine. But the people that are like, you know, just freeloading off of everything and having like 7 different kids with multiple different men and them automatically getting birthright, they gotta go. They gotta go.
And about that.
The apps that are installed that are custom of the vendor all have debug enabled, which on these types of devices, on Android devices, means that you can pause them in runtime and modify the memory, right? Which gives you system injection. System can write properties, and in this case, there's one that you can modify, a cleanup script that is ran as root. You can consider it either a wireless RCE or a gated wireless RCE that goes from no access to root, which is the worst case.
This means that malicious code can be installed and executed outside of the operating system. So like when you first turn on a computer and see the BIOS screen where the system does its little self-check, it could exist right there, acting as a superior to Windows or iOS or whatever it is that you're booting into. Multi-factor
The lack
authentication,
thereof.
two-factor authentication, or two-step verification is part of our daily lives. We use it when we log into everything from Gmail
Yep.
to TikTok to our bank.
If you don't have two-factor authorization, you need to do that.
Is equal, and different types have their own strengths and weaknesses. For example, some 2FAs simply pop up on your phone or your desktop and ask you if you've just logged in from a certain device or region, in which you can approve or decline the new device. This is an excellent security protocol if you're sitting at home in Kansas and see that somebody from Bangladesh just used your password. But if I'm sitting in your driveway in Kansas, or especially if I'm using your Wi-Fi using a device like this, I can clone your Wi-Fi signal and then send a deauthorization or deauth signal to your device's MAC address. Either you will notice this and try to reconnect, or your computer or phone will automatically reconnect, and now you'd be accessing your own network through my device. I could use a script to clone the login page of whatever credentials I'm trying to get, and then feed it to you, capturing your session and, depending on the service, your username and password. Then, as expected, you would get a two-step verification asking you if you just logged in, and you would say yes, granting me access. This means that when it comes to credentials like this, even with 2FA or MFA, a police surveillance company's security can only be as good as the least security-minded person with access to that system. If you're wondering how low this security bar can go with clients, you'll be disappointed to know that Flock Safety doesn't require two-factor authentication with some police departments.
Wow.
Yes, you heard that right. The security
That's
process
crazy.
you go through when you log into Disney Plus is just too much to ask some police departments to do when accessing confidential information and
Crazy.
location of, in
What
some
the
cases,
fuck?
virtually everyone. When I first found this out, I simply couldn't believe it. And neither could U.S. Senator Wyden's team, which is why it's among the issues leading to a request for the FTC to open an investigation into the company
That's
on the grounds
insane.
of national security. Fortunately, there's a super easy solution to this, a USB or NFC authenticator. It costs as little as $10 and you just plug it in or wave it in front of your device for the second layer of authentication. And if this is too much hassle for an able-bodied police officer or employee to use, then maybe they shouldn't have access to secure information. It's really frustrating to spend this much time talking about a problem when a very simple and common sense solution to that problem has existed since day one. A concerning amount of hard-coded information is stored inside Flock Safety cameras, and we'll hear all about it in the next vulnerabilities on this list, but within this information is a list of Wi-Fi network names. So I set up a dummy network with one of these Wi-Fi names. Then, when removing the SIM card or when the device couldn't find an LTE signal, some of our Flock Safety cameras happily connected to the dummy network and routed upstream traffic through it. Others seemingly prioritized my dummy network by default, regardless of if it had a SIM card in it or not. So I captured the PCAP data being transmitted from one of these cameras for a little while, and analyzed it with Wireshark and Unblob, which is an open source extraction suite. And sure enough, there were clear text credentials in the data. These exact vulnerabilities were originally disclosed by John in April, another in September, and with another pending. This attack requires knowing the name or credentials of the Wi-Fi networks the camera is looking for. But what concerns me more is that this information wasn't in an encrypted upstream to begin with, which means that by using a professional grade SDR or IMSI catcher, which is more or less a DIY Stingray device, a malicious hacker could just hijack the LTE connection and then do the exact same thing without needing to know these network names or even being physically near the camera. This could also allow a more modern version of a Tempest attack, which I'll demonstrate in a few minutes, and that's where a hacker could decode the motion JPEG video stream. I actually tried to accomplish this as I love puzzles, but unfortunately time forced me to choose between decoding the pixel sequence or finishing this video, and here we are. When I recreated John's research on these devices, as previously shown, it was as clear to me as it was to John when he first discovered it that they inadequately protected credentials, API keys, passwords, and more. As I mentioned, the GainSec blog and the papers have a lot more details on this for the technically minded, but I'm going to use this segment to talk about some of the other troubling things that were found stored in the camera. On Flock Safety's website, it is stated that they do not capture or record data of people, but only vehicles. They also state that data and footage is encrypted throughout the entire life
I don't believe
cycle,
that.
and that data is automatically removed from devices after 7 days. Speaking for myself, when I recreated John's research across multiple devices, I confirmed
I know for a
exactly
fact
what he
they
was
capture
seeing. If Flock
faces.
Safety's cameras in the wild are operating like the ones we researched, this would be a clear contradiction to their statements. Firstly, when I moved in front of the camera, the radar module triggered the camera module to take a picture of me. Then the onboard AI looked for a license plate and didn't find one, but it stored the image anyway to a separate folder. Now this doesn't seem to target people. It will also take a picture of my hand if I move it in front of the lens, or a picture of my desk if I move the device. But what I observed were the devices intentionally saving the footage, not erasing it. Secondly, throughout the entire process of verifying John's research, I didn't crack or decrypt a single thing. Any of the information, footage, or data that you see or hear about in this video was unencrypted at runtime. And finally, when going through the files and temp folders of the Falcon cameras, we absolutely found images older than 7 days. In fact, John found stored images that were captured when the camera was triggered inside the factory where the device was made. So hypothetically, this suggests that if you had a camera deployed and pointed at your front door, one could access this data and figure out when you entered or exited your house.
Wow.
For about as long as modern search engines have existed, so is dorking. So Googling looks like this, and dorking looks like this. And if you're really
that's what I'm saying.
Dorking,
like,
you'll start finding things that
freaking Flock is bad enough as is, right? Like, they have to lie about it because they know that if like they were honest about it, more people would not be supportive. Which I haven't met anyone that's supportive of these, by the way.
Necessarily intended to be public. I'm a pretty solid dorker, and I use it constantly for researching videos like this one. Josh, however, is a legitimate expert at dorking.
So I'm Joshua Michael. I'm technology obsessive, and I founded Nexina AI, which is a all-source intelligence firm focusing in privacy and personal cybersecurity.
This is the exact Google search I used to find an exposed Flock Safety demo site. Reveal how their system traces cars, maps patrol vehicles, and can soon build full investigation profiles on people. At first glance, it was a UI demo site meant to just show off how cool their buttons look. As I looked deeper, it contained 5,000 lines of source code for a search platform, and buried in the code was a live API key.
And an API stands for Application Programming Interface, which basically allows a computer to contact
That's
another
crazy.
computer without having to deal with all the clunky things like user interfaces and buttons. The confidentiality of API keys and tokens like this are sometimes more important than things like usernames and passwords, because in many cases, the token alone grants you the same access but without front-end security measures like CAPTCHA or two-step verification.
And it had access to over 50 private layers that I didn't dare touch because I'm too handsome for prison. I used open source intelligence to see what data is stored in ArcGIS. Let me show you some of the things I found that police departments and Flock Safety are storing on ArcGIS. This Flock Safety map, it's obviously a demo, but it shows that they'd store registration data. So names, emails, how many cameras, and a field to attach files, whatever that may be. Carrollton Police Department, this is no good. The exposed API key may have granted us access to track live patrol car locations. Also on the naughty list is Aurora, Colorado, or maybe Flock Safety. I don't actually know who owns this map. It's Flock Safety, leaking another ArcGIS layer with officers' names, phone numbers, emails, and even their expected patrol areas. This is the worst one coming out of Dallas, Texas. A map layer with 6,000 records of hot list alerts containing license plates,
Good
the
lord.
reasons why they're on that list, the exact location detected, the camera that caught them, and the time that they went by. Anyone could Google, find this map, and trace these people's movement patterns for 5 months. Also going to note the reason category has someone in there for just suspect, and a bunch of others literally have no reason and are blank.
So let's back it up for a second. If you call 911 and the
That's
dispatcher deems it an
crazy.
emergency requiring police, most modern police cars have a GPS module installed that reports back to dispatch. That way they can efficiently contact the police nearest the event and expedite the response time. Flock Safety and many of its clients use third-party services that make sense of this constant stream of data, and all of that data is handled with an API. Just a few weeks ago, 2 security researchers, Alexa Feminella and James Zhang, wrote a report discovering that ArcGIS had been compromised by a Chinese state-sponsored hacking group called Flex Typhoon. The report from InfoSecurity magazine states the hackers allegedly targeted a legitimate public-facing ArcGIS application. This is software that allows organizations to manage spatial data for disaster recovery, emergency management, and other critical functions. This is just a very recent example of what could be compromised with sensitive API information for geospatial platforms. This is probably, in real-world
crazy.
scenarios, the least concerning vulnerability in this video, but one of the most fascinating ones, and very few consumer or security cameras, displays, or network manufacturers have the means or know how to test for it. At some level, this device that you're watching this video on is leaking non-ionizing electromagnetic radiation, and if the R word is unsettling, non-ionizing means no DNA damage. Phones leak it, monitors leak it, microphones leak it, camera modules leak it, most modern electronic devices.
I'm getting
But
so
some of
much
these
radiation right now.
electromagnetic waves are resonating and modulating in parity with the signal, and if you can isolate the resonating frequencies, you can, with a lot of trial and error, decode the signal, or in other words, spy on the device. The Tempest attack is something that the CIA and NSA used and experimented with ever since World War II, which is how it got its cool-sounding name. Back when we all used CRT televisions and monitors, there was generally a whole lot more RF
the
leakage.
good old
so It
days.
was a much bigger risk to national security. These days, a practical Tempest attack would involve some time finding and decoding the signal, and then placing an RF bug on or near the source, which could transmit the data remotely. You need a software-defined radio with a lot of bandwidth, RF probes, a directional antenna, and a spectrum analyzer. On the newer Flock satellite cameras, I noticed that there was an unusual amount of RF leakage coming from the camera module itself, the proprietary coaxial port, and the 8-pin DIN port on the back. Initially, using an RF probing kit, an oscilloscope, a spectrum analyzer, and a hack RF, I was able to isolate a few various ranges of modulated signals. Then I brought the camera into another room to rule out localized interference and tested these signals as well as common integer quotients of those frequencies. Using an RF probe, I found an exploitable leak between 592 and 594 megahertz. Then, using a periodic log antenna and a 20 decibel low noise amplifier,
I feel absolutely retarded watching this. Because I don't know what the fuck he's doing. I think this is the first time I've actually been, like, bewildered watching someone do something.
I was able to point the RF gun at the device as far as 6 feet away and make out what the camera was capturing. In this case, me. Obviously, the quality and lack of color leaves a lot to be desired, but that's just because the software-defined radio I was using to pick this up just didn't have the bandwidth for that kind of quality. If someone were to use a professional-grade multi-channel SDR board with higher resolution sample rates, the quality of the Tempest attack output can be nearly as good as its source. But due to the high cost of equipment and the knowledge and time required to execute an attack like this, most consumer device manufacturers and owners do not need to be super worried about this. However, if a device is being used for something related to national security, government use, or public surveillance, this absolutely needs to be protected against.
Yeah.
This is just my opinion here, but most of these things are entirely preventable and the result of prioritizing growth over painfully obvious industry standard security measures like multi-factor authentication. Another really obvious low-hanging fruit here is using mobile phone operating systems and hardware for a government surveillance camera. The Falcon, the Sparrow, and likely Flex LPR devices, or the cameras you most commonly see all over the country, were running Android Things 8 or 8.1, which was discontinued in 2021, and that includes security security updates. At this time, there are over 900.
Oh, I believe
published
fiber is
vulnerabilities for this OS.
confusing.
Like, someone please explain to me why there are
I've seen like the
cameras in the wild
splicing and
recording
stuff.
public activity that aren't even running on supported software. If your phone or your computer or your home security system stopped being supported and you understood how bad this could make your life, you'd probably be
Hello,
inclined to throw them in
future.
the
Good
garbage.
morning.
The way this is supposed to work is when you discover a vulnerability, you attempt to reach out to the company and you give them a 90-day window to release a patch. No
Yes,
shout-out,
good morning. We
reward,
always say good
compensation, or
morning
bounty
here.
is required. However, after those 90 days pass, the discoverer can then post a detailed write-up. Alternatively, some go the bug bounty route, where you report it and get a monetary or reputational reward. However, as explained by John and Josh, this route has commonly started to include non-disclosure agreements. This means that even if the company decides not to pay a reward, the discoverer cannot legally disclose the issue publicly.
So they did offer me a bug bounty. It wasn't very specific, and it included an NDA prior to knowing anything more. I don't think you're going to improve cybersecurity as a whole through not talking about it.
Early February, I reached out. Yeah, I disclosed, I want to say 7 to 12 vulnerabilities maybe for the license plate reader and the gunshot detection. They responded within like a day and a half and immediately asked for a video chat, in which, you know, I obliged, you know, talking about joint PR statements and so on and so forth. What ended up happening was they released a PR statement about a month and a half before the 3 months ended, so it went fairly quickly, without telling me, without referencing me or referencing the issues that I ended up publishing. They also never gave me any confirmation that anything was fixed.
There's something really unnerving about going on record with legislators or media and talking about national security. I don't fully understand what defines a threat to national security, and it seems like the type of topic where you don't want to make any mistakes. So I just didn't mention it and kept that term out of my mouth, and I just provided our research to those who could. And according to Oregon Senator Wyden and Illinois Representative Krishnamurthy, well, in their words, Flock has unnecessarily exposed Americans' sensitive personal data to theft by hackers and foreign spies.
So why do we have them? Like, you guys know it. Why are we allowing them? Just ban them. Ban them like we banned Roombas. Ban them like we've banned Roombas.
Part of my research was trying to figure out just how effective the adoption of Flock Safety and similar ALPR services have been at reducing crime rates. Or
Of course they want to
increasing
track
crime
us, I know.
clearance rates, and this is a deceptively difficult task. For example, let's do what most people concerningly do these days and ask Google and let AI answer it for us. Well, hey, there you have it. Let's maybe look at those actual sources, though. By the way, I want to take a moment to congratulate Flock Safety on their search engine optimization skills. It's so good that even services that only exist to help companies improve their SEO are like, bro, sorry, it's literally impossible to improve beyond your elite talent. This means that whenever you want to find information about Flock Safety or ALPRs or police cameras, Flock is going to be the most prominent and influential force in your initial results, and subsequently, so will the AI assistant's answer. More on that hellscape in a future video. But hey, look, some studies.
Yes, we banned Roombas. So they did a ban on any robot that can detect its surroundings and is heavier than 5.5 pounds is banned. Of course, they're not getting rid of, like, you know, old models, whatever, but there will not be new models of the Roomba. It's crazy.
Let's check them out. Okay, so only 2 of these studies took place.
It was an
after Flock
accident.
Safety
They didn't think about
incorporated,
Roombas,
and they
but
tell us nothing about the efficacy of surveillance or data collection. Flock Safety's website claims that 10% of all
yeah, it's
crime
real.
in
Look into
America
it.
is
It's funny.
solved using their services, which is a pretty impressive thing to brag about. However, the source that they cite this claim with was a research paper created by 2 Flock Safety employees that doesn't really outline regional analysis. In other words, crime has been dropping nationally in America since 2021, even in the last year. The first thing that I personally would want to look for is a crime
What's our
rate
time
and
looking
clearance
at?
comparison between cities that
23
use flock
minutes.
safety services and cities that do not. And
Out
when
of
you do it
44.
that way, it's extremely difficult to find any meaningful changes related to surveillance.
He's holding a
technology
chicken.
in general. But there have been other studies not directly related to the surveillance industry. The National Policing Institute did a multi-site evaluation and said that license plate readers can improve public safety, but the technology's impact depends on its implementation. It could just be me, but this sounds quite a bit different than what Flock's CEO is saying.
Over 5,000 cities leveraged Flock to solve north of 14% of all crimes in America. But Flock's story...
It's funny. Also, shout out the funny fucking music in the background. We're talking about South Downtown Atlanta. As someone who grew up in Georgia, I can assure you downtown Atlanta is not a good area. So I understand why they're advertising it. But I don't know if I can say that on Twitch. Just get rid of them. Just get rid of them. Stop putting them back on the roads. Just get rid of them. That gets rid of the crime rate. Just get rid of them.
Story. We can now rest assured that if a crime happens in South Downtown...
Driving through Atlanta is not bad. You just need to make sure you don't stop. You know?
It will be solved.
It wasn't.
In 2023, the Berkeley Police Accountability Board did some data diving and found that ALPRs in other California communities were sometimes more correlated with increases in vehicle theft and lower crime clearance rates. In the case of Bakersfield, California, it was only after ALPRs were installed when the city rose to have the highest motor vehicle theft rate in the United States. The board also noticed that Flock Safety had claimed their services were responsible for a 33% decrease in motor vehicle thefts in Vacaville, California, but were citing data from years before the cameras were even installed. Which brings us to Oakland, California. Wow. And in
so
full
they're just
transparency,
dishonest
I've
all the
been
way
informally
around.
Consulting with
That's
and sharing some of
crazy.
this research with their city council, who had just delayed a vote on a $2.25 million expansion to its Flock Safety network. Flock Safety's public website claims that their services have helped Oakland's violent crime clearance rate rise by 11%. Not bad. Well, actually kind of bad, because
I know that they're saying they're like trying to drop the crime rate, but like, isn't vandalism one of the main things people are like getting away with right now / getting in trouble for right now with the Flock cameras because people are so angry? It's like you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot because people don't like these. The crime rate's not gonna like go down. Like it's continuously gone down, like you stated, for like the past 5 years, but now you have to worry about vandalism because people aren't happy with this shit. I can't tell you how many like TikToks I've seen of people being like, here is a way that you can disclaimer, don't do this, but like this is how you take one down.
because they failed to
Crazy.
mention that violent crime decreased by 19% in that period, which is on par with the FBI crime stats for the entire country. They also conveniently failed to mention that in 2023, Oakland had a violent crime clearance rate of 3%, and that was later acknowledged as an error by the police department themselves, and this was a pretty big news story last year. And the Oakland Police Department were the ones to acknowledge and confirm the error in the first place. So how are so many cities like this failing to call bullshit on these types of claims that may result in millions of tax dollars being spent on these services? This is what I keep running into again and again when researching the efficacy of police surveillance technology. A private business will cite statistics that are often misleading, and somehow nobody from these cities or police departments seem to have actually validated the information quoted in the sales pitches.
It's almost like it's dishonest.
So all of this aside, even if we're not considering all of these questionable data sources in marketing, sociology is an incredibly chaotic field of study, one that typically requires decades of adeptly sourced data to accurately suggest whether a technology or a policy change reduces crime. For decades, we've been trying to figure out if an increase in police can even reduce crime. So at the very least, there should be an independent, robust meta-analysis to figure out how effective private surveillance and data sharing is before we take money away from other resources to pay for it, right? And without getting too philosophical here, it is worth considering for a second that catching people committing crimes is very different than total antisocial or criminal events. Like a thief or a serial killer or a drug dealer or a drug addict is not going to see a bunch of police cameras and then just tap out from crime and become a plumber. They're just going to commit crimes in a more obfuscated
Have
way.
you noticed a fallen crime?
Complicates the process of finding
Crazy.
a
It's almost like that's not what
By the
it's
way,
being
what
used
an
for.
exhausting amount of sociology studies have figured out over the last 50 years is that high levels of surveillance drastically decreases well-being, morale, and even workplace productivity. If you think about that for a moment, it shouldn't really surprise anyone. If you have a job where you think your superiors are constantly watching you and judging your every move, you'll be concerned with appearing to be productive instead of learning and developing your skills at your natural speed. Or consider this recent study that strongly suggests that high levels of surveillance causes a steep decline in voluntary visual processing, meaning that it quite literally impairs the brain's ability to process and recognize human faces. And once again, this is one of those things that you hear and you're like, what? But when you think about it, it's not all that surprising. When you feel like you're in an environment where you are intrinsically not trusted, you're going to be far less likely to make friendly or meaningful social connections with others. And I'm sorry, but that just doesn't sound anything like a safe environment to me. And that's on top of an exhaustive amount of studies outlining exactly how and why increased surveillance decreases well-being and mental health. But some people seemingly only read the studies conducted by companies trying to sell them something. Meet Mike Johnston, the mayor of Denver. At first, it seemed like he had the same careful agnosticism about flock safety cameras that many researchers have.
Our flock cameras are shut off to every federal agency, everyone outside the state of Colorado, everyone outside the city and county of Denver, and no one can access them other than Denver Police Department officers.
You could interpret all of the research that I showed you in this video however you like, but the way I interpreted it was that it technically demonstrated and proved that statement to be false. But guys, don't worry about this.
Could a federal law enforcement agency use this database to track someone down on an ice hold and arrest them? No, because the system is not designed to do that.
In just over a year of data of usage of Denver's flock safety services, queries openly admitting to be used for immigration services amounted to over 1,800. Mike even warns us of the grave dangers of cutting this data off from external communities.
I want to be clear that this is a risk on public safety. If you have someone that commits a crime in Lakewood and flees into Denver, they will not be able to find that person in Denver. You know, we had a trans woman who was kidnapped and murdered, picked up in Denver, murdered in Lakewood. We solved that crime because Denver and Lakewood could talk to each other across a flock camera database.
Except that didn't happen at all. He's referring to the death of Jax Grafton, which was not a solved murder. Jax's mother was more than happy to speak her mind about this.
I'm shocked and appalled that a public official would use my daughter and claim that Flock had anything to do with her being found.
Fortunately, as a result of all of this bullshit and citizen backlash, the Denver City Council overwhelmingly voted to not renew the flock safety contract. And in their council letter on the issue, they went as far as calling out flock safety's ethics and credibility. And I quote, "We do not believe that the city and county of Denver should continue doing business with a company that has demonstrated such disregard for honesty and accountability." Whoa, now hold on before you celebrate your renewal of faith in humanity. Mayor Johnson sidestepped City Council and signed the flock safety contract anyway, which council members are now calling a backroom deal with a known bad actor. And all of this shit happened just in time for police to drive out from Columbine Valley, Colorado to knock on a woman's door in Denver with a summons wrongfully accusing her of stealing a package off of someone's porch. Any guesses on what technology they're citing as evidence?
Flock cameras.
You know we have cameras in that town and you can't get a breath of fresh air in or out of that place without us knowing, correct?
To be fair, that seems like a pretty safe prison city. While the officer refused to look at the overwhelming dash cam porch camera and Google Maps evidence exonerating the woman, fortunately, the police chief eventually did. But this makes one ponder. What's the result when this happens to a 19-year-old black dude?
Oh boy.
Notably, this year, people and communities across the United States have been increasingly concerned about or opposed to the rapid expansion of private surveillance in their communities. A lot of people have been noticing more and more of these little black cameras with the solar panels and just assumed that they were innocently monitoring traffic flow or maybe giving a dispatcher a better idea of who or what to send to deal with an accident. But now they're finding out what they do and what they're capable of doing, and a lot of people are just like, yeah, f*** that. And now every few days I hear about another city pushing back back and deciding to take down flock safety cameras. However, in some cases, a city formally deciding that they no longer want flock safety services or cameras somehow doesn't result in them going away. After finding out that ICE was using their cameras without their knowledge or consent, the Chicago suburb of Evanston decided that they wanted them removed. So flock safety then reinstalled most of them. And since you can't own a flock safety device, only lease it, the city or police department would be handling and potentially damaging private property when removing them. So now Evanston, Illinois is spending tax dollars on legal expenses for cease and desist letters and covering the cameras with plastic sheeting to protect residents from being tracked by them. But my previous video about this topic came way too late. Organizations like Lucy Parsons Labs and Sassy South have been pushing back for years. Another great example, Will Freeman, who's a software engineer who started DFlock last year.
Around a year ago, I was taking a road trip from Seattle to Huntsville, Alabama, and I ran into so many of these along the way in these like really small towns. I wanted to do what most cities weren't doing.
How are you
and
doing?
Actually tell people what these things are, where they are, and how many there are.
Will is more or less simply trying to keep a map and publicly accessible record of deployed cameras. I think this is something that both local governments and flock safety should already be doing, and you'd probably have a hard time finding anyone who disagrees with that, right?
I'd never gotten a cease and desist before. But luckily, before this even happened, the EFF reached out via email and just said that they were there if we needed anything. So I reached out to them, and then they were able to send a response, actually 2 responses, because their lawyers sent another letter back saying basically like, we don't care, we think you're wrong anyway.
Flock's cease and desist here was pertaining to trademark, which in my opinion seems like an absurdly frivolous way to try and bully someone to take down a website that simply provides the public with some transparency about surveillance that their tax dollars pay for. But Garrett Langley, the founder and CEO of Flock Safety, doesn't see it this way.
And then unfortunately there's terroristic organizations like DFlock, whose primary motivation is chaos. They are closer to Antifa than they are anything else.
I mean,
brother,
where
what?
do you even begin with this? Firstly, if you're going to live action roleplay The Dark Knight, at least watch
That's
the video
crazy.
to the point where Lucius Fox and Batman both agreed that their mass surveillance system is grossly unethical and intentionally destroy it. Secondly, using buzzwords like Antifa doesn't exactly invite rational or good faith discourse. You trolled this guy with legal demands and then publicly accused him of being a terrorist. But the key takeaway of
That's
this interview-
crazy.
But that's why we have a democratically elected process, right? Like we're not forcing Flock on anyone.
Let me make something clear. My little farm here is not exactly in a dense urban environment. We don't even have sidewalks. I literally cannot leave my neighborhood to go get groceries or ship out a package without passing a Flock camera and having my activities logged into a database that is shared to a much larger regional database. I am not allowed to know who has access to this information, and the people sharing my local information regionally or even nationally most likely do not know exactly who has access to it. I didn't sign up for Flock Safety. I never consented to it. I've never had an opportunity to vote for it. I do not have the option to opt out of it. And then after researching and taking some pictures of the cameras that are constantly photographing me and seeking more information about them, I coincidentally get cops in my driveway waking my family members up, asking weird questions and freaking my neighbors out. Now I'm shelving educational video projects to pay attorneys and constantly have to make sure someone is around to take care of
Hi,
my animals,
Yasser.
because
Welcome
every day
in.
I'm not sure if I'm going
I'm
to be
doing well. How are
paid for
you?
literally not breaking a single law. We're not
We're
forcing
watching
Flock on
a
anyone.
video
Lacks so much perspective
on
and is
Flock
packed with
cameras.
so much delusion and cognitive dissonance that even Forbes senior editor
Also,
can't
how
manage
was
to keep a
Rivals,
straight face through the
Nami?
sentence.
We're not forcing
Did you have
Flock on
fun?
anyone.
Do not press shield mode. Brother. Don't do that.
Here are just a few of the many strange events regularly happening at Ben's home and lab this month that may or may not be associated with this video.
That's somebody being like, what the f are you doing? Literally all the neighbors are freaked out. I think he's just recording video. Would it be illegal
Yeah,
if I
shield
just-
mode basically
Let's
shuts
just be
like
honest for a
everything
second
down
and
in
state the
chat.
obvious. These cameras aren't exactly little impenetrable fortresses. They're plastic Android cameras and compute boxes mounted 7 feet off the ground with hose clamps. And in many cases, they can be found in semi-rural areas where one has trouble finding a stop sign that doesn't have bullet holes in it. And there are a whole lot of people who absolutely despise these cameras, but we're being patient and we're taking the high road. We're asking our local, state, and federal governments to not throw our tax dollars at a
It's crazy, Rusty, how popular they've gotten.
Researching the risks and
It's-
rewards.
it's insane.
And especially before vetting the hardware and software services that are harvesting our information. It might seem like my research and videos on this topic are anti-Flock, and to some degree, because of delusional shit like this, they are. But we also shouldn't deny that there's a long list of companies trying everything they can to take Flock Safety's place on the leaderboard. If somehow we all woke up tomorrow morning and Flock ceased to exist, another startup would quickly be in their place promising to help police solve crime in exchange for taxpayer money. But do you want to know what I find absolutely outrageous? That over 80,000 surveillance cameras were installed all over the country, and I'm not aware of a single public...
Holy shit, Indiana has 2,065. Detroit has 3,100. Chicago's got 3,100. What are some other ones? Houston has 3,100. San Jose has 3,600. Los Angeles, 4,300. Down here in Orlando, it looks like 1,300. This looks like this is Dallas, so 1,300. Denver's got 1,000. That's crazy. That's so much surveillance. What the fuck? I'm surprised Austin doesn't have any. San Antonio only's got 255. Like all these like other cities like Wichita has 165. Atlanta itself has 2,200, and I don't know this city right here. I don't really know Alabama, but they have almost 1,100. Over here in Virginia and New York. That's crazy. Montana looking good. Yeah, Montana's great. I love Montana. Like Wyoming has none. None at all. Nothing in Wyoming. That's crazy. I have an absolute disdain for the people that put those up with the excuse of, I'm just doing my job. Yeah, literally. It's crazy. And it doesn't look like Pennsylvania has any either. Kentucky doesn't look like they have any. Most of New England doesn't look like they have any either. Yeah, I pointed out Houston. Houston's like freaking massive.
Surveillance cameras were installed all over the country, and I'm not aware of a single public audit of the devices, the services, or the technology. And if there was, they would have found the exact same low-hanging fruit detailed in this video. And that's the big difference here that we need to constantly be acknowledging. Your government supposedly exists to keep order, security, and safety for society. Flock Safety exists to make money. They're not a charity, they're a 7.5
But there's still a good chunk of
tech
people that live in
startup
Kentucky,
reportedly
though. That's what I was saying. It's like there's still a good chunk of
their
people.
biggest investor is Andreessen Horowitz. So this is pretty simple stuff. Should we trust civilian data with a company who is partially controlled and funded by Andreessen Horowitz? Well, let's see. Mark Andreessen was a board member of Facebook during the Cambridge Analytica scandal.
Oh, great. Great idea.
For over
Yeah.
$8 billion in privacy violation settlement. A16Z's portfolio company, Coinbase, exposed sensitive information of 69,000 customers. Even the A16Z website itself had flaws allowing hackers to view sensitive information about their portfolio companies. There's so much. What else? LendUp was shut down in 2021 for repeatedly breaking the law and cheating its own customers. TELUS deceived their customers into thinking that they were putting their money into FDIC-insured savings accounts. Wise was involved in funding Hamas and pig-butchering crypto schemes. But no, I'm sure this time it'll be fine. I'm so sure that it'll be fine that I'm not even going to look under the hood. I have an idea, and it's a pretty obvious conclusion to all of this, and I think it's an idea that anyone watching this can agree on, well, except for maybe the people invested in government surveillance, but hear me out. If a private company wants to offer services to the government that are related to national security, public surveillance, or processing data that will be used within the public justice system, they will have to pay an application fee and provide access to any hardware or software that they intend to put in public. This application fee will hire a small team of independent security researchers who are vetted and unaffiliated with the services or products that they're researching. This team will essentially do exactly what we did in this video, but with adequate resources. If problems are discovered, CVEs will be published and responsible disclosure will be followed, which would presumably help the company tighten things up without having to pay bug bounties. And if no major problems are discovered, then the company will receive a rating that will be valid for 1 year until they have to renew their vendor license and get a less intensive inspection. This is not too much to ask. You can't open a hair salon without a license. You can't keep a McDonald's open without a health health inspection. You can't legally drive a car past a flock safety camera without taking a routine driver's test and having a vehicle that passes basic safety requirements. This is an apolitical, common sense solution to a really big problem. I'm going to formally propose it to legislators I'm in contact with, and I think it'd be really useful if you wrote, emailed, and called your representatives, senators, and state attorney generals proposing the same thing. I don't believe that humans are intrinsically right or left, but if you haven't noticed, finding objectivity in
A Ground News ad. 2 in a row.
Football field. I'm very familiar
Guys,
with Ground News. I've been a paying
Ground
customer of the
News.
service for years. It's an app and a website that collects news articles from around the world and organizes them by political
Ground
bias, reliability, and
News.
potential conflicts of interest, such as media ownership. Ground News themselves are independently owned and funded by subscribers.
Who would have
myself, and
thunk
they're backed
it?
by 3 different independent news monitoring organizations.
I'm skipping
So
his
here's an
ad.
Example. Here we have this beings of people could believe even a thing. Political source, and then
I've
the
already
Fed
shilled
Fidelity
Ground
Source
News
and
today.
News channel targeting. If you're into this, you could subscribe to Ground.video on this /Ben. In my last video on this, I talked a lot about ethics. I talked a lot about how ALPRs and AI cameras could be misused and how they already have been misused.
Always skip fucking
I outlined
ads.
how I believe it easily violates
I don't skip
America's
shoe ads.
Fourth Amendment rights. And here
I
is
used to,
some
then I got
feel-good
crucified.
information that you probably don't get to hear much of in 2025. This is a completely nonpartisan issue. One could use this type of surveillance to track people that ICE intends to capture or deport, or one could use this type of surveillance to track ICE to sabotage and warn people about raids. It could be used to track a woman leaving her state to get an abortion. It can also be used to track someone driving around during a lockdown during a pandemic. There is no civilian anywhere who is always 100% aligned with their government throughout their entire life. If mass surveillance sounds good to you today, then it probably wouldn't have sounded good to you 5 years ago, and I guarantee you that it won't sound good to you at some point in the future.
Hi, Art.
This isn't
Welcome
a right
in.
versus left
Good
thing,
morning.
or a Republican
How are
versus
you?
Democrat thing, or an empathy versus logic thing. It's an authoritarian versus individual thing. Privacy is a form of power that increases your control over your own destiny. And right now, you're at a junction where you're made to be so scared of your neighbors that you might be willing to give up that power. Or you can simply say no. I refuse to pay for my every movement.
No, I'm not
by my government through
Swedish.
a for-profit company.
It's
that hasn't
actually
even been
11 p.m.
adequately
here.
vetted to protect my security. But for this to stop,
I tell people good
you
morning
need to
every
use your
day,
voice
though.
and you need to get involved.
Because it's
There are
always
links in the
morning for
description
someone,
that tell you
yes.
exactly how to
But
do
good
it.
morning.
This video is by far the most time-consuming, impactful, expensive, and collaborative
You did great
product
with
I've
this
done on
video.
channel or with this nonprofit. Obviously, it would have not been possible without John Gainsak's incredible and thorough research or Joshua Michael's determination, ethics, and skill set. If you work in government and listened to that part a few minutes ago about setting up a research team to verify technology vendors courting for government contracts, both John and Josh's websites with their contact information can be found in the description. I also need to thank the exhaustive level of work from Ed Vogel, Sassy, Lucy Parsons Labs, my legal counsel, Albert Sellers LLP, and those incredibly brave individuals who trusted me with information that could get them in a lot of trouble for sharing. They put the safety and common good of society.
I don't really care to hear him thank everyone, in all honesty. Let me copy this. Let me see how long this is. Oh, it's short. Okay. So this one was actually put into React Suggestions by Soul. So we're going to watch this one. This is great. All right. We're going to watch this one. Oh boy.
That's what mainstream left. The West is racist. That's what mainstream leftism.
Okay, hold on. Captions aren't working again. Oh boy. 3 a.m.
The West is racist. That's what mainstream leftism has been saying for decades. Why else would there be such great disparities in income, crime rates, etc. between racial groups? In their worldview,
Oh boy.
all racial groups and cultures are equal. Therefore, all disparities can only be explained by discrimination. And for just as long, the mainstream right has been counter-arguing that culture explains all disparities. In their worldview, some racial groups completely randomly adopted cultures that sabotage themselves. For them, culture is the root cause. Any racial group could theoretically adopt a culture that has worked for any other group and improve themselves. And for that reason, all could theoretically assimilate anywhere.
Oh
Both
boy.
of these worldviews are nonsensical. Obviously, discrimination isn't the only factor, and culture clearly matters. But just as obvious, A people's culture is not random. It's the product of the people who create and sustain it. And isn't there a more obvious root cause to consider? That perhaps different groups are innately different and thus have different outcomes, even in the absence of outside forces? When studying group disparities, why don't we examine the groups themselves? You already know why. Because in
Good
our
night,
modern
Prophet. Thanks for
society,
hanging
one of the
out.
most
Have a
sacred
good one.
dogmas
Sleep
is
all sweet
racial
dreams.
egalitarianism, the belief that all racial groups are fundamentally the same, which is precisely why in this video, I'll be ranking and debunking all arguments for racial egalitarianism, and then putting them on a tier list. If you enjoyed, consider subscribing, it helps the channel. A quick disclaimer,
Oh shit!
since this entire debate
Thank you,
exists
Prophet.
because of the collective
Thank
disparities
you.
between entire groups, we'll therefore be dealing with collective group averages. Therefore, the existence of exceptional individuals of any group isn't relevant, as they are precisely that, exceptions. If you're the kind of person who accuses other groups collectively when it suits you, but then accuse others of racism if they don't treat members of your group as individuals, you can click off. Intelligence is not genetically linked. This obviously false statement is a necessary act of mental gymnastics for the purely socioeconomic factors crowd. Because intelligence is heritable, as shown from twin and adoption studies, it's completely within reason to say that certain groups have selected for it more than others. In fact, if you agree with evolution, then you must concede this. How else would humans have evolved intelligence? Some dog breeds are obviously smarter than other dog breeds. The Border Collie and Chihuahua are both the same species, yet differ greatly in intellect and trainability.
Yeah, I was gonna
Should we
say,
expect that a Chihuahua would do as well as a Border Collie? Is it purely socioeconomic factors and anti-Chihuahua racism that makes them a minority in working dog roles? NPC tier. Humans are genetically 99.9% identical.
Yeah,
You share
okay.
half of your genes with a banana. 90% of your DNA sequence is shared with your cat. Quantitative similarities between genetic content does not equal qualitative differences. That 0.1% matters.
Yep.
Do you know that gray wolves are 99.9% identical to domestic dogs? In fact, they only diverged from each other about 20 to 30,000 years ago, which is significantly shorter than the divergence between some human groups. But obviously that doesn't mean it's okay to bring a gray wolf to the dog park. If gray wolves on average end up being more aggressive than dogs, solely blaming it on just socioeconomic factors like dog trait disparities seems a little silly. Because remember, aggression, impulse control, personality traits are all also genetically linked. NPC tier. There is more intragroup variance than intergroup. This claim says that the genetic difference between one randomly selected person in the village and another randomly selected person in the same village is greater than the genetic difference between the average person of one race and the average person of another. Therefore, race is inconsequential. The premise is true, but there's a flaw in this logic. Not all genes are made equal. Most random genetic variance between
There's a certain tribe close to India who have an increased pancreas and therefore can hold their breath much longer than any other race due to them having a diet of mainly seafood and them surviving on diving. Yeah, I would assume that's because of adaptation, right? Like we adapt as time goes on. I've seen other studies like that as well. That's pretty cool though, because we are technically a species.
people doesn't matter. But some specific genes matter so much that practically the entire group adapted to have those genes and are often defined by it.
Genetic
For example,
difference, yeah.
the Duffy negative mutation, which is found in 95 to 100% of West and Central Africans, makes them immune to malaria. But 0% of those without African blood have it. Or the Tibetans
He got
do
Thanos
class
snapped.
1, which allows them to survive in high altitudes where oxygen is reduced by about 40%, which occurs for them about 90% of the time, but 0% for Africans and Europeans. Or the ABCC11 gene that makes 80 to 95% of East Asians have no sweat odor, but again, practically non-existent elsewhere. This becomes even more complex when it comes to traits that are influenced by multiple genes. We haven't fully isolated the genes that are responsible for intelligence or personality, yet we do know both are genetically linked. And I think we can both agree that social cohesion caused by similarities in intellect and character is vastly more important to survival than odorless sweat. Flawed tier. Race is a social construct. Nowadays, whenever a leftist says
Oh,
X is a
God.
social construct, you should just interpret that as code for I have no counter to this observable aspect of reality. It's not an argument, it's just wordplay. What does social construct even mean anymore? Anything that humans have a socialized
Jesus.
concept for? By that logic, everything is a social construct. The sun, the earth, molecules,
crazy.
everything has a socialized concept, as proven by the fact that I can name them and you know what I'm talking about. The fact that we have a social construct surrounding any aspect of reality does not mean that aspect of reality is made up. In
That
fact, we
Mordekaiser?
build
It's
social
fucking
constructs around
Mordekaiser!
real things out of necessity. This tier.
That's
IQ
crazy.
tests are unreliable. For many decades,
Bro.
race egalitarians have had to deal with the world IQ map, which showed interesting patterns between IQ score and identity. Their only rebuttal has been either that IQ is not meaningfully influenced by genetics, which is demonstrably false, and
Yeah,
that
we
IQ
did
has
have
issues.
someone who didn't
I
know.
don't contest the latter. But
That
it's the
was
best
a
we've got.
mess.
IQ is the best predictor of success that we have, even more so than being born rich. Some then argue that IQ in reality should be used as a predictor of success in Western
Social
society,
construct
rather than
is a
intelligence.
social construct.
Fine then. If IQ is a reliable
True.
metric for success in Western society,
Everything's
then
a social
naturally
construct.
those with low IQ will not do well in Western society, and therefore we should not be importing them. Nor should we expect low IQ groups to have similar outcomes to high IQ groups, even in the absence of discrimination. Since IQ is so artificially advantageous in the West, let those of low IQ thrive in other societies. Why do they insist on coming into our ones where they'll suffer? The reason is because there are no societies where high IQ isn't advantageous. NPC tier. Culture fully explains disparities.
I
This
agree.
is
I
everyone's
agree.
favorite cope when they don't agree that the West is discriminating against certain groups.
Everyone
but
has to
don't
have
want
like
to give
above
leftist
room
reasons
temp
to call them
IQ.
racist. Here's the thing, you're gonna be called racist regardless when you disagree, so you might as well be honest. Why do some groups adopt or create certain cultures more readily than others? Both genes and culture obviously have an effect on each other. Genetics
kinda
influence what
spitting
culture you're most
facts.
innately compatible with, and culture works as a form of selection. But which came first, genetics or culture? This isn't a philosophic question. Genes obviously predate culture. Culture is a product of a people, not the cause of it.
The HP
even if there
laptop.
is a feedback loop. Just because a culture works for one group of people doesn't mean it works for all. Abyss tier. Different groups are different for a reason. They adapted to survive in their own unique circumstances.
Yep.
The expectation that you can transplant the people from one part of the world into another, and that they'll integrate and perform at identical levels to anyone else, is a delusion rooted in the routinely debunked blank slate ideology.
Thank you.
An ideology perpetuated
Bro.
solely by the fear of being labeled racist.
Yeah, I'll let you in.
That concludes the tier list. If there are any other arguments you'd like to see addressed, please share them in the comments below.
That's great. I accepted. Let's see. I think I have something else we can watch. Let's see. You weren't meant to see that? My mods don't really have access to that right now. I don't think. I don't think I have another short video, unfortunately. Let me see. Let's see. Oh, we can watch a body cam video. Body cam footage. It's a woman who doesn't know how to drive. Can you guys imagine? This will be the last one for tonight. Last one. It's muted. I think it's a white woman. Oh, well, thank you for lurking, Zodi.
Hello?
Hello. Did you just drive over?
She's fucking black! She's fucking black! Damn it! The jokes write themselves. Oh, man. Jesus.
Over the train tracks?
No, we've been sitting right here. Y'all just pulled past us and rode past.
Yeah. I mean, we got a description for a white SUV that drove over the train tracks. And you have a flat tire.
Yeah, we got a flat tire now because we just tried to pull over, but that was not us that pulled over.
Whereabouts are you coming from?
Uh-oh.
Whereabouts are you coming from?
Where do people talk like this? Where is this at? Whereabouts you coming from? Is this like Northerners speak? If she was white, she could just walk through the front door. That's crazy.
Hey, babe, I gotta pee, and we were trying to pull over, and we got pulled over.
We're going to be out with that possible vehicle, Washington, in a second. I have a plate for you when you're ready. Just be advised, it does have a flat.
They're trying to say we sped off at the train tracks.
Ma'am, it's kind of like a yes or no.
Uh-huh.
It's kind of a yes or no. Did you drive over the train? Did you drive on the train?
No, I didn't drive over the train tracks, but I did slow down and put my brakes on so we could park right here to go in to pee.
Man, this is a parking garage.
No, I did not.
Let me finish. Why are you getting so aggressive? I'm
Cole's boyfriend because she has to
And
pee.
you're sitting
Yeah.
up here asking me the same question over and over, and I'm
She's
trying
probably
to-
hot.
You're not answering me.
I'm intimidated.
You're intimidated?
Yeah.
By what?
Are you asking if you drove across the train
Because
tracks?
I already answered the question. I
Well-
sat up here and I pulled over.
Okay, well you got a flat tire and you also
We had a flat
Hold on.
tire
You
before he
keep
pulled
cutting me
over the
off.
train.
He sounds like he's Canadian. You hear how he said tire? He said you have a flat tire. Where is that? Where? Okay, so she's not speaking like that, but he said toyer.
And you also have all this grass on the front end of your car.
We pulled over before we got even across the train tracks. Now they trying to-
Let me rephrase this question for you. Were you at 4th and Center in front of Little Bros at Little
Oh, Minnesota. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
No.
burger place? You weren't
No.
there?
4th and Center?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. How'd you get the flat?
We got the flat before we even crossed the train tracks.
Hey mans, when did you get the flat?
She's on the phone with her boyfriend, and she's got a boy in her car.
Listen, man, I want you guys to get home safe.
I hear you, bro.
I'm just trying to figure this out, man. We got a BOL for a white SUV with that drove on the train tracks, man. So when did you guys get the flat, bro?
I've been on the radio.
Where are you guys coming from then?
Here.
Where's here?
We parked here.
Yeah, where are you coming from?
You want to answer that? Because I don't have time to have this.
Hey, Plitz, are you good for a sec?
Yeah.
Front driver's side's flat. She said that they didn't drive on the train track. They said they noticed it was popped, so they just pulled over here.
Hey, bro, just roll down the window. Yeah, just roll it down. Appreciate you. Yeah. Were you trying to show me something?
Oh, no, I was just...
Oh, bro, I didn't know. I'm like literally ordering. She hit the train tracks, bro. Be honest with us, man. You can be straight with us, bro.
They stopped us right here.
A guy in passenger seat says he doesn't remember when she said she never once drove on a train track.
I don't know. I think that they were probably smoking before they got pulled over. Just by how they're both acting. Like, I'm not sure if that would kill their buzz or whatever, but man. You got pulled over in East Oregon by a cop with the thickest Minnesota accent that you've ever heard. Yeah. It's, I can't say I've ever heard one in person. I always hear them online.
I don't know, she's really not talking to me. She's just on the phone with one of her friends. She's like ignoring all my questions. But she just keeps denying driving on the train track.
So, she has to piss, like, bad. Like right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Gotcha.
That's why I'm trying to get in here, and y'all sitting up here pulling us over like we did something wrong, and that's why it's making us look like...
Yeah. Well, again,
I get
what
you're saying, though. We don't know.
So well, hang on. Let me just explain something real quick. So I don't know if you heard what my partner said beforehand, but he said that
Well, Mr. Meme, the thing is we can all thank George Floyd for contributing to society by giving us body cams. Me too, Soul. Me too. Let me ask you something. Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. Also, hi Ragnar, welcome in.
We had a BOL, which means to be on the lookout for a white SUV that drove over the train tracks.
Hell yeah. No, I took my AirPods out, so I was like,
hey,
what's going on?
No, you're good, bro.
Do you guys know why you have like branches underneath your car then too?
Because we're all riding through the same area. Do you know where I live? There's nothing but trees and sticks over there.
I mean, there's trees everywhere.
Do you know where I live?
Why would I know where you live?
Exactly. So if you knew where I live, you know where there's trees and sticks and branches under my car. They're trying to arrest us and pull us over for a bunch of bullshit. I'm glad you see it in here is.
Did I ever say that you were under arrest?
I'm not talking to you.
Hey, ask if she had alcohol to drink.
Miss, have you had any alcohol today?
No, but I'm sitting up here on the phone with my boyfriend right now.
Okay, with this drink right here, is
Brother.
this alcohol? What is this?
Where? Water?
No, in the other one right there.
A sweet tea?
Okay, let me see that can real quick. Not that one. The can.
Can we get out and go to the bathroom?
Not right now.
Hello?
That can that's under your purse. What is that?
He said, give me my ticket so we can go on about our business.
What's that? Well, now we're trying to figure out what's going on. You guys aren't telling us.
That's crazy.
Right now we're just investigating.
She's definitely got something in her system. Gotta be. That's crazy. That's crazy. The way that she just goes, just give me my ticket so we can go about our business. Like, the fuck, bro? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's they think that they need to be on the phone because, like, all cops are bad, basically. They always need to call someone and be on the phone because, like, oh, they're scared that, you know, because they're gonna act out in front of these cops, whatever, but they want it on record. Like, oh, I'm on the phone, so I can be disrespectful towards you, and if you say anything to me, you look like a dumbass kind of ordeal. It's retarded.
Investigating right now, okay? We're checking camera footage to see if you guys ran over the tracks or not. That's what we're doing right now. We got someone checking, okay?
So he's saying because y'all do not have no probable cause, y'all don't have a warrant, we can't get our ticket and we can't leave.
You have damage to the front driver's side, right?
We don't have damage to the front.
So right now we're just... Yes, you do.
We don't have damage to the front driver's side.
You have a flat tire, bro.
Okay. Just like y'all have cameras. We don't have front damage to the front bag.
Hey, Flint, I'll be right back. Anything?
Well,
she's claiming she never was on 4th, and she said she had no alcohol to drink tonight. There's a Long Island in the center council, but she said it, I think...
Give her a freaking breathalyzer, bro.
Hey, miss, my sergeant's right there. Can you talk to my sergeant?
Ma'am, I need you to open your window. I see alcohol in the center console. I need to identify you.
Hello?
That's my sergeant. Can you talk to my sergeant?
I see an open can of alcohol in your center console. So
water?
Okay, all I know is I see that. So no, there was
and a can of sweet tea?
There was a Cutwater. Was it Cutwater?
That's not mine.
Okay, I need to identify you.
It doesn't matter. It's an open container.
We need to see your identification, okay?
Okay, that's fine. Hello? Do you hear that? I'm here.
From 7, that vehicle's taken off. Let's go northbound Washington through the red light.
That's crazy, bro. That's insane.
Precinct. Still northbound Washington. Just past University.
Doing a felony to avoid a misdemeanor. Crazy. Yeah, she didn't do nothing.
Turning into the middle school right now. Still traveling about 35 miles an hour. It's going through the stop signs.
Like, what do you think's gonna happen here?
56 miles an hour.
Yeah, Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She literally has a flat. It's raining outside. They've already got your tag and what you look like. Like, what do you expect to happen? He's like trying to jump out. He doesn't want anything to do with this. Poor passenger, bro.
54 miles an hour.
Oh, he threw out the cup? Oh. Damn.
Vehicle almost ran through a whole leaf pile. Still westbound Farnham.
Oof. Welcome in, Jana. Welcome, Alucard. Welcome, welcome. You're putting your money on I Can't Breathe. They're gonna say it. Freaking pit maneuver her, bro.
Right now, right in front of Alta Beauty. She's crashed into Alta, Oh. Stop the car! Stop the car now!
And this is where she goes, I didn't do nothing. And she's on the phone with her boyfriend. Babe, they're arresting me because I drove off, but it's not breaking the law. Stupid. Oh my god. She stopped to steal something real quick. That's crazy. Oh my goodness.
Step up! Get down! Get down! Back up! Stop the car!
Oh, she gonna run him over.
Stop the...
Pop her tires, bro.
Just collided with 807. She's trying to move the car.
Stop the... Oh, back up! Quick, back up!
What is she doing? Is she trying to run him over? Can you imagine how much this fucking cost to destroy? I know she's trying to get out. She's like doing like a 15-point like reverse. Like it's crazy, but I mean like holy fuck. Like, what are we doing? Oh my goodness. Welcome in that one. They're just letting her keep doing it. What a retard. They're literally just watching her do this. The property damage, for the men in chat, okay, I'm sure like all of you have probably been with a woman before, right? Makeup is expensive, okay? And she keeps running over all of this makeup. So like just inside of Ulta alone, like one like aisle is probably like $1,000 worth of makeup. So she's already like racked up a couple $1,000s worth of makeup already. And not only that, you gotta worry about the windows, you gotta worry about the fucking the pillars. Like it's crazy, bro. This is crazy. Somebody called it. Where is it? Somebody called it. She's just gonna ride through the whole store and exit the other side. Yeah, this is crazy, bro. This is great. I think this is the craziest one we've watched in a while. That's insane. The manager walking in next morning is gonna have a day. They're gonna pin her in. I'm just imagining the opening manager like, because they have to call, right? They have to like notify. Like, this is, I don't remember what time it is, but it's nighttime, obviously. So Ulta's already closed. There's nobody here. Can you imagine getting a fucking phone call and being like, hey, by the way, your store is entirely fucking trashed. I don't know how to break this to you. That's a lot of money that they just lost. And they're not going to get it until like the fucking, you know, the court case, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Like, that is insane. That is an insane amount of fucking damage. Oh my goodness. The cinder blocks came off. Try this in Europe and you'll flatten your car. Yeah, no, it's pretty bad. Everything's meant for quantity, not quality anymore. Yeah, it's a huge insurance payout, that's for sure. Do the employees get the week off with pay or what? Probably not with pay. Probably not with pay. No, I doubt it.
Hey, passenger's still inside.
Okay. Passenger's still in the
No, inside the car. Or inside the store.
Was the passenger inside the store?
Yes. Hands! I got it right here! Hands! Little, I'm going over here.
Hey, Sarge.
Oh my, that's insane.
I'm going over here.
Holy, that's a lot of fucking damage. That's crazy. Oh my god, that's crazy. Oh my god.
Hey, Sarge, come with me to the other side of the building just in case.
That's crazy. Flex tape, quick.
Walk back! This way! Keep walking! That's the passenger. Keep walking this way! Come this way! Over here! Come this way! Over here! Walk back this way!
Oh my god. That's insane. Sorry to sound like a broken record, but holy shit, dude. They're so good at following simple instructions.
Keep coming. Come outside now. Come outside. Sarge, he's coming. Step out now. Hands. Get down.
I mean, realistically, like, I don't think that he was helping her. But at the same time, like, when they were asked about the fucking train tracks, he wasn't honest about it, so he did lie. And oh yeah, and he threw out the cup, which I didn't see the cup get thrown out, so I'm gonna take your word for that. What if he told her to drive off? Would have been crazy. I think it was her boyfriend, because he didn't say anything. You know, they asked her to step out, and it showed, you know, them looking at her, and she didn't even, like, look at him. She was on the phone, and then, like, you know, when she went to grab her identification, she took off.
I didn't do anything.
No.
Just arrived at this mess. Oh my god!
Hold on. I'm going over here. I got the door.
It ain't nothing a little super glue and some duct tape can't fix. That is crazy.
No, I'm cool with that. Don't know when you're tired of here. Yep. I don't even drink, so I'm cool. I'm cool with that, officer. I don't got no argue with that at all.
Radio from 7, we got pay.
I don't got no argue with him at all. What does that mean? Can someone translate Ebonics to English, please? What does that mean?
So I'm cool. I'm cool with that, officer. I don't got no argue with that.
What does that mean? Can someone translate? Hold on. Let me ask Cloud. Hey Cloud, can you translate this Ebonics? I don't got no argue with him at all. Okay, hold on. Cloud's answering. It means I've got no problem with him. Don't got no is a negative concord, a double negative, where the extra negative intensifies rather than cancels. It's a regular feature of AAVE and of Cockney. An argue is being used as a noun where standard English wants an argument. Okay. He doesn't have a problem with him. Got it. Why can't you just say that?
Radio from 7, we got passenger in custody. We're detaining, or we're putting the driver in custody now. Okay, yeah, enough.
Enjoy that felony. You can shut up now. Stop crying. You did it yourself. Like, you didn't even, like, stop once you broke into the store. You kept doing it. Like, over and over again. You can't pull this, like, you can't pull that shit now. You can't pull that shit now because you've literally, like, done the same thing over and over and over again. You had ample opportunity to go, okay, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. But, like, you waited until you got stuck. Oh, you think a year? You think a year? I don't know. I don't even think she's gonna get a year, honestly. I don't get her argument that she keeps repeating, he told me not to do nothing, and then I didn't know. Yeah, I don't know, bro. I don't know. I don't understand. Maybe, like, she's talking about her boyfriend saying, like, don't give, like, your card or whatever, but, like, at the same sense, like, why would you listen to some fucking retard on the phone who's, like, telling you to be aggressive with the cops? Like, he's not even there to help you. Like, what are you doing? Oh, yeah, the damage is gonna be bad. They're gonna sue the fuck out of her for all that damage.
Yes, bro. All right, I'm cool, bro. In the back, you on the same party. Oh, oh.
Just stop. Okay, just stop moving. It's all over now. Hey, are we still looking for him?
No, both are in custody. Clint, you got passenger, right?
He's back here.
Perfect.
Is everyone at Ultra secure right now?
A firm radio, we're secure.
That's a lot of cops. Shoo-wee. She had her head so no need of anything about you being damaged. That's crazy. I assume he drove in there just in case she tried to, like, whip it around again to kind of, like, stop in. Thank you for the translation, Mind of Raw. Thank you.
The male suspect, De Niro, was issued a citation for open intoxicants in a motor vehicle and is presumed innocent unless proven guilty in a court of law. The female suspect, Katrina, was found to have a blood...
She's got a face tat, a dermal piercing. So she's got a dermal piercing and a face tat. And then she's also got a neck tat as well. And she scored a .2. Oh my god.
Concentration of .21, over double the legal limit. She was charged with her second offense of OWI, felony malicious destruction of police property, felony malicious destruction of property under $20,000.
Really? Less than 20,000?
Felony malicious destruction of a building over
Oh my god! That's crazy!
$20,000, 2 counts of felony assault on a police officer, and felony third-degree fleeing eluding. She took a plea deal, pleading guilty to all charges in exchange for a sentence of 1 year in jail.
Oh my god! You can't make this shit up! You can't make this shit up! Oh my god! Why? Why? 1 year. 1 year. Like, I'm not even surprised at this point. It pisses me off. It just pisses me off.
and 3
Jesus.
years of probation. She will be released back into the public in March of 2027.
Katrina was ordered to pay $258,563.
Shout out whoever got that number right. I don't remember who said it, but they said almost 300,000.
In restitution. $233,164.
0.2 isn't even that much. It's like 2 beers. Beer? What kind of beer are you drinking? IPAs?
$4 of that goes to Ulta Beauty, and another $25,399 goes to the city of Royal Oak, Michigan. This debt could potentially follow her for the rest of her life, and filing bankruptcy doesn't necessarily give her an escape hatch either. Restitution imposed as a part of a criminal sentence generally can't just be wiped away through bankruptcy. And to think she could be almost $250,000 less in debt if she simply
If she simply was like, yes, sir, it is an open container. You know, I will spend the night in jail and I will get the DUI and we will move forward, because I'm pretty sure DUIs, you only stay in jail for like until the morning or whatever, and then you get out, and then you go to your little court case, whatever bullshit, and then you pay the fine, and then whatever. Like, literally, like, that's all you had to do. But now you're $258,000 in fucking debt. You have all these different charges. That's crazy.
On that traffic stop. So ask yourself honestly, whatever you're trying to avoid in that moment, is it actually worth what you could be creating for yourself for the rest of your life?
That's crazy. All right. That's it, guys. That's the street. That's crazy. Oh my goodness gracious. That one hell of a fucking shoo-wee. All right, let me close all these tabs and give you guys some music. Let's see. All right. I cannot stay up till 6 a.m. That's crazy. I'm hungry. I didn't eat dinner. I'm gonna go find something to eat, and then I'm gonna hop in the shower and then go to bed. It's late. It's late. So thank you guys for hanging out with me today. I had lots of fun. I hope you guys had lots of fun. Tomorrow we're playing Katamari. We're playing Katamari Reroll, which I've had in my library for a little while now. And I've wanted it since release, but I haven't been able to play it. So we're gonna play it for the first time tomorrow. With that, I hope you guys have a wonderful night. I will see you guys tomorrow, same time as always. 9 p.m. CST or EST, and then it's going to be 8 p.m. CST, 6 p.m. PST. I cannot fucking time zones, dude. But yes, so 9 p.m. EST, 6 p.m. PST. So I don't know what that is in like the future, for those of you that are like EU and stuff like that. I don't know what time that is for you guys, but thank you guys for hanging out with me. You guys have a great night. Take care of yourselves, stay hydrated, sleep well, sweet dreams, all that fun jazz, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye bye. Bye bye.
They have called me sacred, they have called me something wrong. Tried to pull forever from the places I belong. I have known the smiling faces with their kindness dressed as knives. Let one moment of betrayal become the shape of every life. Then I saw a tired stranger give her scarf to someone cold, and the world became much larger than the cruelest thing I'd known. Pain can fill the silence, make the darkness feel complete. Then a hand reaches for another and reminds you where to see. The world is always ending, the world is always new. There is beauty in the breaking if smiled and stayed beside. I said, why make something fragile when you know it cannot last? She said, because the sand is here and because the sand is fast. When the water took the towers, she did not look away. She said, it isn't nothing, it was here. It happened anyway. Maybe love is not possession. Maybe memory is not proof. Maybe nothing needs forever to be beautiful and true. A song is not a failure when it reaches its last note. A flower is not tragic just because it cannot grow. I am not unbroken, I am changed by what I bear. But the seed does not survive by pretending not to care. So let me stay soft, let me still begin. Let me keep the door unlocked and let the whole world in. The world is always ending, the world is always new. There is beauty in the breaking, there are colors passing through. I don't have to become colder, I don't have to turn to stone. I can love a fleeting moment without needing its hold. I will grieve what disappears, I will cherish what remains. Warm hands, morning light and silver. The world is always ending, but endings aren't the whole. There are gardens in the ruins, there are stars beneath the cold. And when the tide comes for me, I will watch it change the shore. Then I'll gather up the morning and begin the world once more. The palace touched the water, the flower reached the sun. Nothing lasts forever, but it happened. And it was beautiful when it was done.